Welcome back to the Red of the Wagon of the Inn. So glad to have you all back. So thankful, speaking of Thanksgiving, glad to have you all back and hope that you had a fantastic Thanksgiving if you're in the US. If you're not in the US, I hope that you got to watch all of us gorge ourselves because it was a lot of fun, let me tell you. I think I went to 3 separate Thanksgivings, 3 days in a row, and I am a turkey now, if I wasn't already. But glad to have everybody back here and glad to play some D&D. Everybody should have their backup characters ready to go. I know Drew specifically with his vengeance quest is more than ready. As a forever DM, he has messaged me with like 30 backup character ideas. Like, just in case, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I do have ideas. But so glad to have you all here. We've got some awesome art and some awesome giveaways to go through tonight. But before we do, does anybody have anything they need to be shilling? Wow. Cool.
Anyone who
I think that's
okay.
2 weeks in a row.
What you got, Alex?
I'm not mute. Am I cool? Next weekend is PAX Unplugged over in Philadelphia, and if anyone is going, I will be doing the scary trip halfway across the world to get there, and I will be at PAX Unplugged. So if you want to catch up with one of the crew, you can come say hi, and maybe there's a RWI something special there. We'll see.
Is there?
Is there?
Brie, you have to act like you know. Come on.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
I
There
myself
is.
would go for that.
So good.
You never know. Things could or could not happen. We will not confirm nor deny.
If you take a selfie with Alex at the con, I'll let you give 10 inspo to whoever you want.
Not Alex.
Whoever you take
Not
a
Alex,
selfie
though.
with.
Anyone but Alex. Whoever Alex doesn't want you to give it to, probably Jakey for sneaking off last episode. Give it to Jakey.
Fair enough.
Fair.
I accept graciously.
We have some awesome art. Isn't She Classic has been very busy over the past 2 weeks. So we'll show off a few of theirs. First of which was How How's brothers and sisters. And might I say, the green How brother, I think it was what it was, slays. That guy's bringing home people, whoever he should so choose. Zania looking awesome in her Thunder Goddess attire, which I think this is one of the better arts of Zania we've gotten. It's really, really great. But I don't know about favorite, but it made me laugh, is the art of Ordell and Ritter. Because we mentioned last time, Elijah said that we should have kept them on a leash and chain so that they didn't get away. And so Isn't She Classic immediately put the boys on leashes and chains. Cue the Squidward, oh no, he's hot meme for both of them. Oh, also, Stronghearth and all the people doing the gift subs, huge thanks, and Hype Train, super excite. And one I didn't get to share for Halloween. I'm pretty sure I didn't get to share this one, but this was a really awesome cosplay. And it's the Nometa 5 Halloween cosplay, who went so all out on the Emma cosplay that if I hadn't showed it, I needed to show it because it's just so dang good. So all of those pieces of art are awesome. Again, all the people who contributed for Inktober are awesome. All of you sub people making the Hype Train are awesome. And we have an awesome giveaway. Why don't you tell them what we got tonight, Alex?
Well, I think it says 1, but let's make it, I don't know, let's make it 3.
Ooh.
3 GBB blind bags to the first giveaway of today.
Ooh, I
heard it
like
here.
Brie better remind me I said 3 too, because I'll forget.
So you're saying the one winner gets 3 GBBs or 3 winners?
Correct.
Okay, 1 winner. Well, make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you enter that giveaway because we got these Glyphic blind bags. I think there might even be a new series from the picture that I'm showing on here. I might be using a very old promo image for it, but I might not. So
No, that's the correct series.
well, perfect. Then that is the perfect series, and I am a competent internet person. But make sure you stick around for those. We also wanted to talk about before we started, as soon as I see Verity in chat.
Can I do it?
Yeah, Alex, it was your idea. You do it.
I love it. So for those that don't know, we have a very active member called Verity who does pretty much all the recaps. And in fact, if we ever forget what happens in a show, we go to the Discord and
Brie.
we can get a recap ourselves. Brie. Exactly. So because of that, we were going to give Verity some inspos, but we figured if we give 10 inspos, we might as well instead give Verity a magic item. So for the first time ever, we're giving one of our chat a magic item. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure I've got it right. The magic item is as follows. We haven't got a name yet, so someone wants to throw a name at it. But you now have a wand verity that you can ask or divine any one question every single show to any one of the 6 of us. And we must answer a yes or no to that question.
Alex was right that you kind of act like a divination wizard with all of your recaps for everybody, so that makes a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I think that's what you said earlier, and it sounds good to me. I'm willing to answer as DM, and I think all the players are willing to answer as players. Boom.
Call it Oracle.
That's pretty
Love it.
Frogger.
We'll call it Choracle as in chat oracle. I don't know.
Sure. The Choracle.
Oracle. Oh no.
Because it's made Brie said, oh no, then yeah, it's called the Choracle now. You have the wand of Choracle. Yeah, Verity.
Congratulations, Verity.
Yeah, you always are here and participating and doing so much into the recap. I think more notes than all of us do, so well done. But yeah,
Sure.
I don't know. I take a lot of notes.
So
Those are my
many.
musical notes, okay?
Brie, how many words were your last set of notes?
I feel really personally attacked right now.
Oh, we also do have one more piece of art because I didn't put it up there. Let me throw it in. I just completely forgot to even load it into Streamlabs. But it is an important one because it will help us on the recap. So while that's happening and while I'm getting Jakey's notes up, let's all go ahead and roll for recap, why don't we?
Recap. It's not
7.
gonna be me tonight.
I have to
17.
remember to
Oof.
flick this on, don't I?
The Jade Ivory with the
14.
nat 20.
14.
Can we get some?
Wait,
What do we got?
the
What do we
thing.
got
Come
here?
on. Come on.
There we
What is
go.
it? What are you doing? Come on.
Oh, the Jakey's notes were saved as a J5 for some reason. I hate that. Okay, well, I'll have to show them
12.
after the halfway. Or just go check out the Discord.
Anyway.
We believe you.
Jackie, Alex, what'd you get?
12.
4.
Yeah! Woo! I thought the 7 I was for sure gone. Well, hit us with that great recap.
Ooh, it does not compare to Verity's.
Do
okay,
not
I
read
would
Verity's notes.
I know,
just
I
read
Word
know.
for word.
Please. George, when you just make sure you don't copy and paste it and make it not obvious, okay?
When we last
Uh,
left the gang.
The party came along.
All right, it's been 2 weeks, you guys. I kind of took good notes, but they're obviously not as good as Verity's. But let's just jump into this. Okay, so I have Ritter leaves group. Ordell follows. Ordell Bluetooths, but ends suddenly. Big boom. We chase after. Yeah. Okay.
Wait. There was such a pause that I was like, oh, she's ending there.
I have more.
Okay, good.
I'm just really shy right now for some reason. Okay, so and then a ghoulish bat-type creature is chasing Ritter and Ordell. And then, oh yes, there's a rat folk who's missing an ear. Watching on the mountainside, and instead of like rushing to help Ritter and Ordell, we're like, wait, you rat person, you're way more interesting. Let's pause for a second and talk to you. And Exy shoots near the rat person and blows him up to like smithereens. And the rat person looked dead. Looked very, very dead. But came back up. Name was either Melch or Belch. I couldn't really get a clarification. But says that they die a lot of times and they're just back up again. Well, they did die and now they're back up. And now they have a cave that is close by. And we're like, cool, thanks. Oh shit, our friends. We then start running. We're a few rounds behind. Exy destroys the ghoul bat being, and oh, this is not relevant to the story, but we claim inspos for magic items. Oh god. And I talk about my short sword that I found, just for clarification, understanding. I remove HP from my top, but then my short sword has extra damage. Pew pew pew. So then we're running, we're hiding. At this point, I'm like 21, and then I start doing a bunch of Vine references. But we run back to the cave, and the unwilling rangers are like, hey, we're gonna run away from you guys. So there's a mob because of the whole mess that we created as usual. Rangers are like, oh, we'll run away from you guys. You go to the cave and we'll get the trail off of them. And so we're in the cave, I'm doing my stupid Vine references, and then we leave the cave and then we find all of the unwilling rangers heads on sticks while their bodies are burning. So, Ritter also left to cover tracks, and we still don't know where he is. And I feel like we had a better ending than that, but that's the last thing that I had written.
There's a few points. So good recap. There's a few points that people need to know for context of where we're at. Where are we? What's the name of the location?
We are at
It is a
Cloudmaker.
It is a descriptive name for
Oh.
the field.
Well, fire.
Boom. There, that works. The fire fields, fields of fire. I'm good with that. What was Emma doing at the end?
Before
Emma,
we after continue, no, I'm gonna say something after because it just made me think of something. But you go on with the question.
Emma, I just feel like Emma was there, and she like Emma was up front for
Yeah.
some reason.
Emma was just chilling. Not that's all,
No,
right?
Nope, she was under attack and revenge, mad revenge, and
And
Mad Revenge. I think Mad Revenge is pretty good,
Mad
right?
yeah. I'll give the inspo. It's a good recap. Well done. And
I gotta. When you said the fire fields, the fields of fire, all I could think of was, oh yes, the fire fields, the fields of fire, the fire where fields happen. Anyway.
perfect look for that too, Jake.
I was gonna say also, if we haven't commented on Jake's new Tom Cardy look for his new stachio, he's looking mighty fly. So everybody comment and tell him about how much they love his mustache. And,
I think we missed as well, kind of important bit of information, that the actual tower isn't floating this one.
yep.
Oh,
If there's nothing else, I'll kind of give a recap on like what the exact situation is and where everybody's at and where we're going. But is there anything else before we get started? Perfecto. Everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, coming out with us at the Red Wagon Inn, where the players are a bit separated at the moment. They stand in the middle of the night outside of the fire fields, where there were quite literally plants creating fire or black powder of sorts that were being harvested to help fuel this great Cloudmaker generator. It is the centermost tower and thus creates the largest plume of smoke, blotting out the sun for the vampires and their spawns to do their work around the clock outside. This one is kind of tethered to the ground by 3 great pillared legs, and it has a ramp that leads up to it. Farmers were kind of going back and forth that seemed to either be labored, like slave labored farmers, or vampiric spawns. It wasn't quite made sure yet. People haven't figured that one out. Ritter did go to do some surveillance, but has since vanished. He was out with the other rangers, but his body is not amongst the unwilling that passed away. There are a few people up in the cave. Right now, it is Ordell, Winter, and Elijah up in the cave, as well as Belch with a B, the rat folk who seems to like blowing things up. His whole cave is still filled with explosives, but he says he's got 6 bags of holding full, equally as filled as the cave. Outside, we have XC, Ashrin, and Emma. As Emma looks down at the unwilling, places their skulls in the bag of holding so that it can bring them back to Comet later. Emma is angry to say the very least and has started walking off towards the farm near the fire fields. It's about a mile away from your current location, but so is the Cloudmaker in a kind of triangle from each other. Cloudmaker's northeast, the farm itself is northwest of your location from here. You're all kind of up at the cave, except for XC, Ashrin, and Emma, who have gone a little bit further out and closer towards the field. You're not that far away from each other. You could definitely catch up if you needed to quickly, but as it currently stands, Ordell, Elijah, Winter, and Belch are kind of gathering and preparing. Winter was distraught for what had happened and the unwilling that had passed, and now, not knowing where Ritter is, feels almost responsible for it with the group, is having a rough time with it. Ordell, in a similar fashion, wants to make things right, as Elijah has kind of tried to steady the two of them, say, all right, we've got a plan here. I just think we should be a bit cautious, but I understand the need for for vengeance. And as Belch has finished gathering a few bits of powder onto pouches on his side, he throws on some robes that he seems to have in one of the bags of holding that are spare, just kind of raggedy little robes with holes torn and marks of black powder and residue of explosives, almost like a miner's coat that he throws on while holding his staff, walking over, looking at the three of you. But Elijah says, but is this... We need to get revenge. We need to make this right, but is it right now that we need to do it is all that I need to consider. If the answer is yes, then we'll get going. I'll go gather the others and we'll figure out a plan, and we'll do it now.
I don't think there's any time to wait, really. I mean, from what happened outside, I don't think that anyone's going to be in a mood to sit on their hands. Not that we'd be doing that, but yeah, and Ordell's going to fix the barrel onto his shoulders and then just kind of kneel so Belch can get into it.
Belch says, okay. As he hops into one of the empty barrels on the back that you've added a strap to, he says, we'll be very quick. Just take me to Cloudmaker. We'll blow up the whole thing. It will be explosive. Revenge will be us, as he taps onto his forehead. Winter and Ordell, roll me a quick perception check.
Come on, Diebag. If you'd open, that'd be super de-duper. There we go.
15.
15.
Perception. Oh, I'm good at those. 16.
16. You notice that before he tapped, you kind of hear the sound of metal clinking against his skull. He picked up his amulet as he tapped his head there, and it leaves a small indentation. And for a moment, you see almost like a yellowish glow on some of the fur on his rat-like forehead, and almost outline of a dragon's face imprints into his skull before it just kind of disappears into the fur. He seemed to have cast some sort of spell on himself before he hops into your barrel. Elijah says, all right, to the Cloudmaker then. Let's finish this before they know what hit them.
Yeah.
Winter, are you good?
Yeah.
Ritter.
I'm hoping that he'll find us along the way if he hasn't been found, but if he has been captured, then action quicker than inaction will help us find him, I assume.
Then we can't blow anything up until we find him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true. Just
Didn't...
wait
Oh,
until
sorry,
we know.
after you, Elijah.
Oh, you make a good point, Winter. Wait until we at least get some sort of confirmation for where he is. We don't want to...
Blow Ritter up? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it. Didn't we see, like, when the vampires were doing their whole thing, like, running around, it seemed like they generally had, like, not like they were all fully connected, but they were pretty good at figuring out what the other was doing. Do you think if Ritter gets caught, like, you know, big guy on top would know? Because I feel like that's that's at least hope that he's alive, but...
If you're proficient
means...
in Arcana, I'll let you roll an Arcana check on that.
Can I?
Not.
Yeah, either of you.
That was maniacal. 16 plus 8. You do the math.
You have never encountered vampires in person, but all of the legends and all of the lore would indicate that they seem to know more than their own eyes see, whether that's through word of mouth, traveling of animals, or possibly being able to see through their subordinates' eyes or hear through their ears. They gather a lot of information very, very quickly.
I mean, we can communicate with each other very efficiently without having to be in a certain location. And, you know, I don't doubt that there are a number of magical ways that they in particular could communicate or even see what's happening around.
With his face
afraid of
being
that.
so red and his teeth, they possibly have a red tooth stone and could speak that way.
Yeah, maybe.
Damn it,
Can't rule
Elijah.
it
So
out.
Ordell walks outside.
It's a very serious thought for him.
No, it is. But he's also like, Dad, it's not cool to have my Bluetooth stone now. If everybody has one.
Well, you just hook it right onto the belt, right outside your pants. It's very easy to access. It just snaps away.
I
like that.
won't. No. And stop wearing. I go take his sunglasses off of his neck. No, you put them in a case in your pocket. They're fragile.
As the four of you kind of exit the cave, looking for your friends to gather a plan on how you're going to go about things, XC, Ashrin, you see Emma in her purplish flame in the dark, beginning to walk at a stern pace with her ancestral guardian nearby, walking towards the farm.
Emma? Emma?
Let me roll something real quick. She is just walking straight, but you do notice she has pulled out the staff of the adder, and as she's walking forward, she's also looking up.
Is now the best time to do this? As I'm like trailing behind her, I try to catch up, but I feel like she'd probably be a little bit faster than me.
Ashrin kind of does that jog walk to get close to Emma, and then walks behind her, not getting in front or to the side, but just trying to get her attention and to get Emma to stop and pay attention. Though this large skeletal figure walks nearby, you're certain if you get too much closer with this big thing, your cover in the dark will not be very good.
As Ashwin's talking, XC walks up in front of Emma, turns around facing Emma, and stops. And if Emma tries to sidestep, I will also sidestep.
Then, yeah, no, she would totally do a sidestep.
Emma and XC dance back and forth for a moment as Emma tries to get around before Emma finally stops in front of XC, realizing that XC is not going to willingly let Emma go without at least speaking. What you do from there is on you, but eventually you realize XC's preventing you from going any further.
I will join you in whatever quest you have, but I do not want to see you perish. We should think about the best way of doing this.
XC, this is my fault. They are dead.
Correct. Let's not make it your fault that anyone else dies.
Then I'm not asking you to go with me on this then. If that's
You
the
have
case.
no choice. I have 2 legs, maybe sometimes 4, and they are walking this direction as well.
You can just see like this determination in her eyes of just sheer frustration and just rage inside, and she just almost stands there in a defeat.
The fire in Emma's eyes is dimmed down. It's small, it's not burning with rage, but the fire that is there is bright and intense. As the three of you sit in the field. Go ahead.
My lower half swivels so that my butt is now facing forwards towards Emma. And my butt pocket opens up. And I pull out a ring that seems very similar to the ring Emma used to have. And as I reach into my butt pocket and hand it to Emma, I go, "This may not be your original ring, but I deem you as a friend. Please wear something from me."
Emma takes the ring and goes to slide it on to the finger and stops for a second, and then instead she takes one of her horns down and she slides it onto the horn where it fits snugly.
"We are now friends. I will not let you die." And then I step out of the way.
And Emma keeps walking forward.
XC, Ashrin, as you see Emma put the ring on, She doesn't stop. She continues going to the fire fields. You two look at each other for a moment. What are the two of you doing?
Company, Emma.
Yeah, I get my new short sword ready.
Ashrin, with the sound of the unsheathing brand new blade, with her name initialed in blood along it multiple times now, stands at the ready to defend her friend XC, weapon arm out and at the ready, but thoroughly flip back to the right side and move towards the fire fields alongside your giant guardian. As that happens, Ordell, Winter, Elijah, and Belch step on the side of the mountain where you're located and look towards the great cloud maker. Roll me a perception check, Winter and Ordell.
22.
20.
20.
Dirty.
Elijah stands at the edge and says, all right, once we make a plan, let's head right up there. There's a ramp over there, but where's the others? As Elijah goes to grab his sword, all three of you, Winter, Ordell, and Belch, kind of at the same time say, there they are, point out into the field. But in the pointing out, the realization dawns on you. They're about half a mile from your location. They're halfway between you and the farm there with the windmills and the fields of the fiery plants. They have already started to head without you.
Did they, Ordell, did they tell you or like send you a message on the Bluetooth? No?
They didn't, but I think I know how we're going to catch up. Ordell puts down the barrel with a little friend in it, pulls out the sled, because Ordell earlier tried to use his burning hands to make the sled move forward, but didn't work. But an explosion at the end might work, so Ordell's going to try and make a makeshift rocket, baby! Rocket sled!
What do I see?
Ordell has Belch get out. He's like, I can walk just fine. It's not a problem. We go to Cloudmaker. We make it blow up. As you're like, hold on. You set the wood down.
Now we got to catch up to them in style, guys. Come on. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
So I can see, Ordell, that so there's this wooden sled?
Mm-hmm.
I see now.
Wooden
that's
and canvas with leather.
Yes. Okay. And then
Treated with wax.
Now you're getting out some dynamite and what are you attaching?
Just sticks.
That?
Yeah, I was just gonna put it on the back, This one, it just says it's from this company like Acne or something. So, I could just put it on the sled and I'm sure it'll work.
You get a GFY, you do. But
I'm absolutely okay with that.
as you do that, Belch walks over like a child by comparison in size. And his little hands grab over your hands holding 2 small sticks of dynamite as you're putting it towards the back of this wood and canvas. He says, I do not mean to be offensive, but you're made of fire. This he picks up one of the sticks and goes to hold it in his pouch. He says, this is my thing. As he cinches the pouch closed. You're very bad with this, that would not... well, maybe you're very good with this. Can you all survive and come back like I can? Because this could send you flying that far.
I mean, technically I did that in the castle once. Anyway, let's just walk. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I mean,
We're so far.
We're on a mountain, right?
Yeah, you're on the edge.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess we could just slide down.
Yeah, I read this book once about this thing called gravity, and I think that even without the dynamite, if we just jump on the sled and then like push it, we will probably get at least some of the way down this hill.
It's a mile away.
It might save us a minute or two.
Who's gonna push?
I'm down to at least try. Hello, I'm gonna push. I've got the fastest legs in wherever we are. This very burning place.
So are we headed to the maker or to the farms? Because they're continuing to walk as we sit here and talk.
Ordell's just gonna like get ready on the back, like ready to push the back of the sled. Wherever the sled takes us, that's where we're going.
Oh,
Destiny.
Odell. Can I use the Bluetooth, please?
Yeah, I guess. And Ordell like fidgets around like for looking for it, but like I think like pulls out like a lot of black powder out of his pockets. Like, no, that's not the blue. Like just like
keep
dropping
stealing
like
from me. I told you not to touch this. Like as powder comes out.
you helped me fill my pockets. As
You
I had
stole it
Bluetooth.
from me. I did not offer anything. As Belch like sand throws it in his pockets.
I'm gonna take it, walk a little bit, like towards where I can see the rest of our party, and I'm gonna go, Ashy Booty, this is, what's my code name, Wardell?
Man, that's a good question. Did we give you one yet, or
Look at
are we making
look
one
at
up on the
Brie.
fly?
What is her code name? Look at Brie.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh wait, it was Goth GF, wasn't it?
There we are. Look at Brie. Look at Winter.
I was-
What is the code name?
In my head, the first thing I thought of was like, wait, was it like Thursday, like a version of Wednesday that was funny? But then like, anyway,
That would have
it's
been a good one
Goth
too.
GF.
Thursday.
Oh, okay. Ashy Booty, it's Goth GF. Come in.
We're gonna
Do
pause
I have
there.
the Bluetooth on?
So no, because Ritter has the Bluetooth stone.
Oh no. Do we just hear screams in reply?
I'm fine, guys. Ah! Don't pull my nipples off. It's honestly good. You don't have to save me. Ah!
Wait, so did Ordell have? So I do have the one that Ordell gave me, right?
Oops. Speaking of, you don't have to save me images. Yeah, you have one, and Ritter has the other.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, Ritter.
You know, we don't have to pause there. We'll continue there, actually. We'll go to Ashford and them in a moment. But yeah, Winter, you say Ashy Booty. This is Goth GF. Are you there? But you don't hear a reply. You wait for maybe 10, 15 seconds. You can see them walking. They're purposely ignoring your call.
Rude. I guess I'm gonna. I was calling my friend to ask for advice, but I guess we're going on this sled now. And then I hoist up my dress and like climb into the sled and like shrug at Elijah.
Elijah says,
So
"Take the sled if you want," as he pulls his bastard sword from its sheath and says, "I think it's best if we just get going one way or another. Where are we going? Are we going to the Maker or are we following them?"
we're following them, I guess, unless it takes us towards the Maker. Then wherever the sled goes. So this is your driver speaking. Keep your hands, feet, and everything inside the vehicle at all times. If the vehicle is to crash at any point, hold on to the back of your neck, scream something towards your god or deity, and away we go. And Ordell just pushes and goes.
So, so is this a sled or is this the barrel that Belch was in?
The barrel belches in is on his back, but like this is the sled that was like on like carrying Winter and that was refashioned into a sled after it couldn't wear it anymore.
Okie dokie. So, Winter, you sit there in the sled. Belch looks at it and says, "It's okay," as you sit down into it. But Ordell, you begin to push on the back of it. I need an athletics check from you to see if this is something that you can push. Because definitely was a sled meant to like be carried on your back, not necessarily a toboggan. And also, this is dirt and rock.
Cool runnings, this right?
So I only have a +1 in athletics, but that's still a 19.
Hey, solid. And with your massive movement speed, because you can move without dashing, how far can you move?
55 feet without dashing. So if
Okay.
I dash, that's 110, baby. And if I use a key point, that's 220, baby.
So at 110, We'll round it down and then also up. You can push Winter at 30 feet per second. We would fourth that. So at 30 feet, that's Elijah and Belch can run and jog alongside you. And it essentially means, Winter, you don't have to do any work, which is the traditional way that Ordell had to carry you before. Like,
There's no momentum.
no, there's no extra to it. But if you do spend key with your flaming monkness, you can basically light your feet aflame and shoot out small jets as you run a little bit faster, if you'd like to. But for now, you're pushing Winter at a typical human speed, if that makes sense.
After like a small, like maybe a minute or so, if it keeps going, I'm just gonna like turn around and look at Ordell. Like I really thought that this would be more like faster and perhaps a little more daring and exciting than this.
I tried my best, and Ordell just stops, throws his hands down, and just walks away. He's like, I thought it was gonna be cool.
You can
That's
definitely
okay.
make Winter go faster than she normally would be able to. That, you know, if you spend some key, and Winter can cast off some spells. And
You tried really hard. Maybe if we paint it red at the next town, it'll go faster, and I like, climb out and walk just as quickly.
as you're all
The
kind
books of the
of
Boy and the Tiger made it look so easy.
as you're all kind of
keeps
running towards the other group, we'll pause cars and go back to Taken, as Emma, Ashrin, XC, and the large ancestral guardian. You make your way closer towards the farm before you come across your very first fence. It is not meant to keep much besides livestock and large animals out. It is fence posts with two large pieces of wood that connect each fence post. You could easily climb under or over it. It's more meant to say this is a specific piece of land, and outside of there is not a part of this farming land. Within here, as you approach the edge of the fence, you immediately begin to feel things heat up. It gets warmer as you approach the soil. It is no longer typical hard ground beneath your feet. It is farming soil. There's lots of loose soil there, and you notice that the ground itself is very much almost half ash and half dirt. It is very fluffy, almost like snow as you walk here, and as you make steps in this ashy dirt, you can hear that kind of traditional snowy into the ground as you walk. Being next to this fence here, you see that the wood itself has been burned over. The fence itself is entirely black, which will prevent the wood from catching on fire. But as you get close to this edge of the fence, roll me a perception for the three of you. Ooh, solid rolls. Alex, stop rolling twos on perception.
Emma has blind rage, and with that blind rage, it's a natural 1.
Ashrin is the one, maybe level-headed one. She got a 17.
Okay. Emma gets to the fence and immediately hops it, calling her guardian over. XC, not wanting Emma to get hurt, you don't take a moment to stop and take a look. You instead just immediately follow behind Emma. Ashrin, instead, you get onto one of the fence posts and actually use it to stand up to get a little bit better view of the surrounding area here. There are quite a few farmhands out here in this field. From where you're at here, you're maybe half to a quarter a mile away from the actual barn building and the windmills that are there. All of them are very, very hard to spot, and you would normally miss it, but you took a moment to take a look, as they're in the dark, and there's lots of patches of light near them, but if they're not directly next to these flowers, you're not entirely sure that you would have seen them, so you're glad that you stopped. You can either continue and be in a blind rage, or maybe pause your group now that you've seen them and reassess. But you do see that there are other farmhands out here that may alert those at the barn to your presence.
So, can we talk quietly without being heard?
Yeah, they're far enough away. You'd say they're probably 200-300 yards away.
Got it. I take the lever out that I've been holding this whole time. Okay, so I've learned that I can't act rationally. And so this lever was a reminder that we should probably think about what we're doing next. Hopefully, Emma, that's okay with you.
Emma's gonna stop, and she's gonna look up to the sky again, and she's gonna try and contact her deity, not necessarily even for an answer, but she is gonna look up and say, "Help me send their wretched fucking souls straight to you." And she's gonna stop and listen to Ashrin and just wait.
Roll me a percentile real quick.
89.
Ooh. It's not high enough to receive direct intervention, especially since you're a cleric and that could come later. But as you look up to the stars, you look at Ashrin and begin to ask, okay, well, what do you think we should do? But as you speak, Ashrin's words seem to almost trail off. You begin to hear her voice fade. And as she speaks to you, you can see her eyes shift from their traditional yellow color to a bright, bright purple. And in a voice not her own, she stares at you and says, "Only cowards need my help. Earn it." Before Ashrin suddenly snaps in your face, as Ashrin, you see Emma staring at you for a moment, and you kind of get her back before Emma shakes her head, and you return looking at just Ashrin.
Emma. Emma.
What is the plan?
I mean, what would Ritter do? Get recon? Get to be familiar with our surroundings and then act? I look to Exy like, that was what I'm saying, okay?
I look to Emma. Can that thing carry my weight?
Emma looks at it as it takes its arm and just like scoops it into the ground as it's just incorporeal light.
It fades right through you and doesn't move any of the dirt beneath. What are we doing?
Where's the barn?
You look over towards the windmills, Ashrin, from your vantage point, and you see it's right in between two very, very large, powered, not powered by the wind, but actively powered to cool off this area, windmills, and it's a very large structure right in between the two.
Okay, I mean, down there, you want to start in that direction?
Yeah.
Let's, as you're talking, Emma, you hear another voice. For a second, you think you're hearing things or seeing things again, before you recognize the voice to be far away and much higher pitch than what you had talked before. It sounds like somebody yelling out. Before you turn your head and look, Ashrin, you notice what Emma seems to have turned her head towards, and you see someone staring at your group, specifically your very tall ancestral guardian, and one of the farmhands begins to kind of back up slowly and trip over himself before he begins running off towards the barn.
And look to Exy. Yeah.
Ashrin points out the farmhand to XC. Seems to be running towards the barn, but you can try and take a shot. So about 200 yards away, so 600 feet, which I think you can still shoot to, correct?
480 is really my limit.
480. You may have to try and run to catch up to him before he gets further away.
Jesus, far away.
You have a
And
giant
how far
skeletal figure of light, kind of giving your spot
they're
away.
they're
How
gonna
far
see
away
us.
is the barn? That he's running
The
towards?
barn's about somewhere between quarter to half a mile away. So
I look back
2,500 feet.
to Ashrin, just said XC. And affirmative, and I begin sprinting towards him.
How fast can you sprint using a dash?
I can move. Nothing too exciting. I can move 60, but I can long stride on myself, so make that 80.
80?
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
As
So,
Ashrin kind of nods, like, get him. XC takes off running after this person. They are running to get away. However, with your 80 feet. They do not move as fast as XC. Emma and Ashrin, you begin to see XC running off in that direction. What are you doing?
If a smirk could go across Emma's face, it would, and she starts running.
I just let out a big sigh and start following after them.
Ashrin hops off the fence post and begins sprinting after XC. So with how far you're able to go, you probably have to travel about 200 feet alongside these rows of plants. And as you're getting closer to the farm, you notice a lot of these plants are getting more in bloom, things that have existed for longer. Go ahead.
As I begin running, also, so it makes a bit more sense as well. My new visor, goggles, etc., will start making a noise as my vision changes and I can start detecting heat elements around me. As I see that it's too hot here, I cycle through to the next view, vroom, vroom, and I can now see through darkness without too much of an issue. Should be to keep an eye on my prey.
As you sprint to try and catch this figure up, you can see he's running towards and yelling out, trying to get attention of more of the farmhands that are close to the front, that are kind of loading some of these plants into crates to take towards the Great Cloudmaker. As you're walking by, you notice as you step into the earth, your heavy metal frame makes the loud snowy sound, but every now and again, because you're going so quick and putting so much pressure, you know those little pop fireworks that are like in little wrappers that you throw on the ground and they make sounds as you're running? It's not every time, but every now and again you hear that and look back and see sparks flying from beneath your feet. It seems to be a trail of almost these black little nugget things coming off of these red blooming lettuce/cabbage-like things that glow here and produce a ton of heat. As you're walking with your passive perception, you and Emma, you and Emma, as you're running that way, you begin to see one of the plants kind of shake as if to remove excess seeds from its stems, and a bunch of these little pods fall off of it. They just land kind of softly in the dirt, and you can tell that's what you're running over here. But as you run, you probably go about 200 feet before you see this figure is finally in range for you, and you quickly slide to one knee and pull your arm up, ready to take a shot at it. He seems to be yelling outwards, but go ahead and roll your attacks.
Dice girl.
Eat like rolling twos, don't I? So the first one's at 16.
16 does hit.
Sorry, plus 5. So 19 in total.
Okay, 19 definitely hits. Then I assume the second one hits.
Oh no, the second one's only a 7.
Oh, then no, it doesn't.
It was a 2. It was a bad roll.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, you're doing the extra damage. Sharpshooter.
I am.
Neato.
All right. So 6, 4 plus 2, 12, 10 is 22 damage.
22. As you fire in the dark, you begin to see a almost green silhouetted outline of this humanoid running towards the others, screaming outwards. It raises its hand to try and get their attention, but as you drop to one knee, 2 quick shots in succession fire outwards. You have your silence weapon, so they don't spread noise terribly far. However, what you do see through your optics is the bullet fly, one missing in the dirt nearby, causing more shocks and sparks. Not terribly unlike what you saw from Belch, but the second one hits home as it goes right through beneath the left shoulder there. And when it does go through, you see a splatter of liquid or fluid fly out from this creature. Roll me a history check. Or a knowledge nature, whichever's higher.
My better one is history. Oh, they're both the same. So 14 plus 2.
You do not remember fluids coming out of the vampiric spawn that you shot before. As this person running gets shot and seems to fall into the dirt. roll me a perception from the distance that roll me a perception from the distance that you would be. Ashton and Emma, you run and see XC, just the smallest of flash from his muzzle as it flies and hits somebody as they fall into the dirt there.
Perception roll is
Is what?
20.
20, just enough. You do see that the group that he was calling towards seems to have turned around, but since he's now laying in the dirt, they kind of can't see where the noise came from.
All right. How far away is the group?
They're closer to the actual barn itself. From you all, they're probably about 800 feet away. So
all right, I am going to imbue one of my bullets with magical tinkering of a 5-foot radius of light, and then I am going to fire it in a Pythagoras direction so that it's away from where we are, and so that they will see this light land.
Try and land it in the dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. As XC, Emma and Ashrin approach and kind of kneel next to you at about the time that you're done with that first shot. You see those others. You hear your friends approach. The large, giant skeleton of light kind of kneels down as best he can. It would be about your standing height compared to all of you normally being near you, but you quickly load a lighted bullet up and fire it off. Do you fire it towards the east, more towards the Cloudmaker, or off away from the farm into the west?
Away. Let's make it as far away from any location where we might end up.
Okay. So roll me a stealth roll then. Won't make you roll at disadvantage since you have your silencer.
No problem. My stealth is +6, so that is a 22.
22, solid. Emma and Ashrin, as you approach, you suddenly see this little... It almost sounds like a t-shirt cannon more than anything as it fires out of here. This kind of large rock flies outwards from the barrel and lands off into the hills that Ordell and Ritter originally were caught up from that giant ghoul creature, and bounces off some of the rocks over there. It reflects off of the white rock within the hills and makes a quite noticeable target for if anybody is going to patrol, they may go look over in that direction. As that happens, Ordell and Winter, you're running off in that direction. Go ahead and roll me a perception.
23.
23. Winter?
9.
As Ordell's running, Winter, you're having to run behind, now no longer being pushed by the sled and trying to keep up with Ordell, who's quite fast on his own, who does that running backwards, like, come on, guys, let's go, we got to get there, as Elijah, Belsh, and Winter are trying their best to keep up. But as Ordell, you turn around, Winter, you're arguing like, I'm trying, you were doing this sled thing, and it was working, but... while you and Elijah are busy kind of chastising Belch and Ordell, you look and see a small dot of light seem to fly away from the farm into the hill that you were in previously, Ordell.
Huh.
It flies very quickly, much like a bullet.
Is there fairies out here?
I don't know, Belch, are there fairies out here?
I have not seen no fairies, no. What is a fairy, though?
You know, like a little creature with little wings.
Little? No, there's been nothing little here except me. Nothing smaller than me, so no fairy.
No fairy.
I saw
Why?
it too, though. Something tiny. Did you not see? This little firefly of some sort goes flying.
Oh, so you have fireflies, though?
Oh, yes, of course, but not fairies. No, I know. Those are cults.
Are they fast? Like, yeah?
They're bugs.
Bugs are fast.
Not this fast, no.
I mean, are the bugs as big as you? Because you said nothing smaller than you out here.
Right. These fireflies, they're very big. Big bugs.
That's horrifying, and we will address that later as Ordell keeps running.
Is this something that we should be concerned about, or no? Just giant bugs. Okay, all right.
It's going. The little light I saw is going away from farm. It's not the problem. We're going to go blow up farm. It's away from us. No
Okay,
longer
so-
problem.
So we have confirmed, because I know that initially our tactic was just to run wherever the sled was taking us, but the sled took us about, 100 feet and not really in any one particular direction. So are we going to the farm or are we going to the weather machine?
I get you didn't like the sled idea, but some of us are still sensitive about that while we're running.
No,
But personally,
Odell, it was
I
a really
just
good
think
plan.
I think the farm, they were going to the farm, right? Wait, but we should go to the machine, because then we can give them cover from the farm. But if we go to the machine by ourselves, they might die, and then we might end up at the I don't know where we're going. I'm just running right now.
You've kind of been
Okay,
running north, a
yeah.
little closer towards the farm, but not necessarily away from the Cloudmaker as it goes.
You're definitely running really, really well. You're so fast, Odell. Well done.
But my sled wasn't.
Elijah
Well,
flicks Ordell in the nose. She says, "Hey, of all the things to worry about, make a decision. Are we going to blow this up so that the others can deal with the stuff at the farm, or are we going as backup?"
Oh, that first one makes a lot of sense, because if they're going to take Ritter anywhere, it's probably towards the Cloudsmaker unless we see something else. And yeah, Ordell's going to head that way.
so do you think we can save, there's no chance that Ritter is in the Cloudmaker?
If he is, then we can get him out, blow it up, and then meet at the farm.
Okay, so we run towards the Cloudmaker, we do a quick search of the entire thing, blow it up, and then run towards the farm.
Yes, but make sure we got to say something cool before we blow it up.
Okay, we're 100% sure Ritter's not in there.
Boom! Afterwards.
We'll workshop it.
Okay.
As you all kind of course correct and instead choose to go to the east instead of towards the rest of your party. We've officially split the party, and I love it. So, let's go back to Emma, Ashton, and XC.
Hey, on a positive note, Winner, just remember you do have a death ward.
Yeah.
And a death wish.
I'm just gonna go sit down somewhere and wait till this is all over.
I'm not dying for you fools.
People die for me, not the other way around.
After you fire the shot, XC, what's the next move?
So how far behind me the rest of the crew?
They're next to you at this point. They've kneeled next to you as you've made the shot.
I look back to Ashrin. Target neutralized. There is a commotion. I have sent off a distraction. I do not know how long that will last. We should act quick.
Right, Emma, do we, he looks really strong, but do we need him? He's kind of like a beacon. That's a yes. Okay,
Is
sorry.
my last high level spell, and I'm not wasting it.
Looks down towards you, Ashrin, and seems to raise its skull almost quizzically, like, why would you say that?
Right, just wondering. Thank you, XC.
Can
That
you
was exactly what
change
you wanted
its
me to do.
size temporarily, or make it change color, for example?
Once he's there, he's there.
It nods and begins to lay down in the dirt, its head being about as tall as you are, kneeled down.
Oh god, that's just even more creepy. It's just like, hello.
It is very much the storm giant type crawling like before.
Especially because
Okay.
it's only a torso too, which makes it even better.
So, how strong is it? Can he just clear the way for us?
I'll just put it this way: it's very strong against the vampires.
Okay. Do we know if these are vampires?
The
They
one
were
I
at
just
one.
shot does not look like a vampire. It had blood.
Great. Okay.
We're not here to kill innocent people. We're here to take out vampires, and we know there are vampires here. So,
As you're speaking, Emma, in the distance, you're watching the group and observing. You begin to see them all kind of trail offwards. They set the crates down for a moment and walk off towards the light. A few of them grab some torches off of the fence posts towards the front of this farm. and begin heading off in that direction. There's probably about a dozen or so altogether that seem to be moving off towards the light.
We should act now.
Okay.
I will now be at your 6,
Good. Ashton.
and then I
let's go.
start fading back into the left a little bit so that I'm out of the direct.
Letting Ashton and Emma kind of take the lead. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sort of stealth around.
As
I would assume Emma's gonna try and so if the group of torches is going this way, Emma's gonna try and go off the other way, more towards the barn.
yeah. So, since all three of you are heading towards the barn, roll me a stealth, Emma, and Asherin at disadvantage because of the giant ancestral guardian.
We got this. Disadvantage. Oh, okay. I don't like it, so I'm gonna use an inspo.
Solid
Just
idea. Emma down to 11 inspo.
Okay, so the first one was a 19. The other one is a 17 plus 2, so a 19.
Okay.
I also got a 19.
I will use an inspo.
Ooh, starting off strong. It's a good omen for a split party.
Oh.
Listen, I got 11 more inspo to blow through. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 14.
Oh, solid. So 14, 19, 19.
Mhm.
Okay. As the four of you begin running towards the vine, XC kind of trailing back, they begin moving off to the west. You kind of take the eastward path and do a boomerang or a moon type pattern getting towards the barn. And in doing so, as you're moving towards the barn, at one point, you're maybe about 100 feet away from the actual barn door. You see that it is open inside, and there's kind of a walled partition to where when you would go in, you'd have to go either to the right or to the left, and then you'd actually get into where the barn is. So you cannot see past that, even though the doors are open there. But you also see, maybe about 200 feet, either to the east or west of that location, are the mills, the windmills that are there that are powering, creating a large gust of wind towards this field here, cooling everything down. Their doors are closed. They have lights on inside of the windows that kind of lead outside of the buildings there. And there's a couple, it seems to be like a 2-story situation for each of the windmills. There's windows down towards the bottom and some up towards the top. These are great, large wind makers here, cloud makers and wind makers. But as you get about this far away, when you turn, you see the group that had headed towards the light has stopped as they look over there. They're trying to observe and see what's going on. They have some weaponry out, mostly farm tools, scythes and sickles. Some of them even just holding a dirt hose. One of them stops and turns and looks over. You hear a shout from one of them as they point over towards the great ancestral guardian as they all grab their weapons and begin running off in your direction. They're about 500 feet away at this point, but they do see you and are kind of running towards you. It gives you time to make choices, but you know that they're coming.
I bonus action cast Shield of Faith on Emma.
Ooh. As Ashrin runs over, seeing them, pulls up her own shield, taps it with her new blade as it rings out. Her blade rings a brilliant red glow, and it surrounds Emma's new clothing, solidifying the cloth material into a much harder scale mail-like attire.
I will take care of them. You guys go inside. Is there any sort of vantage point I can get up? Can I get to the roof, for example?
If you want to try and climb the side of the barn or make your way into one of the windmills and get on the second story, you could do that.
I'm going to be at the barn, so I'm close to the guys here. So.
Okay. Asher and Emma, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think if Ashrin trusts Exy to handle it on his own, or watching the 5 rangers and Ritter disappear. Maybe we shouldn't let that happen to our friends anymore.
Take care of Emma.
Emma's on the reverse side. Like, Emma's like, Exy can totally handle this.
But
Like,
there's
if
more
there's
than one
anything-
person.
If there's anything Exy could handle, it is a group of farmers.
Okay, I grab Emma's hand as my Shield of Faith magic is still like imbuing in her, and I guess we start running towards the barn.
Okay. XC, you're trying to climb up to the roof of the barn?
How high is the roof?
The barn sits maybe about 30 feet up. You could use the door that is open on the side of the barn to kind of aid yourself in climbing to get up to the roof. The roof in itself is also made out of wood. This is not a straw-roofed barn. It's got a very solid foundation, so you could get up there and stay up on there. The barn is dwarfed by these great, mighty windmills here that are on the side. They're probably about 100 feet tall. This barn itself is maybe 30 feet tall.
That's fine. I just need to be slightly elevated so I can get easier shots on these guys.
Okay, if you want to try and climb, you can go for it.
Love to.
Okay, how are you trying to climb? Describe how you would climb that barn.
Is there anything else nearby? Like something about half the height of the barn?
From the
Like,
front of the barn, not that
barrels
you
or whatever.
see, but you could try and make your way around the back and see if there's any advantage to getting up that way.
No, that's fine. All right, I will re-permanate my arms so that actually, if I can do this quickly, maybe not. I'll resemble the spider Exy that climbed down that big shaft a long, long time ago, and I will climb up the side of the barn using the door if possible.
Perfect. The door has one of those big X-type crossbeams that hold the wood together of this giant barn door, and so you kind of use that to climb and scaffold your way up. So go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Ooh, not too high. I am going to re-roll that with an inspo. That's a lot better. Oh, okay. Just leave it on. Athletics is +0, so that's an 18.
18. Okay. As you
Three.
hop onto the side of the wood, Ashton and Emma, you begin running into the barn before you hear a loud clunk as the metal man grabs onto the side of the barn and begins rushing up the door, which gets him about 20 feet up before you can just jump and climb your way onto the roof. It takes you a bit of time to do this. The farmers will definitely get closer during this time. But eventually you get your way up to the top of the roof, just on the very crest of it, putting yourself off to the other side to provide yourself some cover as you lay your arm out with its tripod attachment and look and see the dozen farmers headed off in your direction.
As soon as they enter the range of 480, I'm going to begin firing.
I do have to have a question about your magic item without giving too much away about it. Your new vision ones.
Yes.
Do they do everything at once, or is
Yes,
it...
they do.
Okay.
It's the thematic is changing it
Perfect.
around.
Then yes, before you take a shot, as you're getting up there, laying down and getting your tripod up, you quickly swap between all the visions to see what you can or cannot see. And as you do so, you look into thermal, you see no heat signatures. You look into night vision, you see them. You're pretty sure you're going to come back into that one. And then you swap over to this other vision that is almost...
We'll call it tech vision. Can
Yeah.
check energy sources, illusions, original forms.
Yeah, exactly. Tech vision. Your eye begins to glow a brilliant teal color. And as you look out there, suddenly, above this field of figures, you see floating in a ghastly figure above the farmhands, where the group is kind of gathered together as 12, floating with arms directly outwards, a figure lacking legs entirely, but a ghostly robe below its arms and torso seems to be walking forward, floating above them and heading towards you as well. We'll come back to that in just a moment. As Emma, Ashrin.
Are we going to come back to that in a moment? I think we should deal with that right now.
That's okay. You got stuff to deal with on your own. As Emma and Ashrin, the two of you quickly get to where that inner kind of partition is on the barn. Do you head through on the right side or the left side?
Right side was closed, right?
No, both of them are open. So the barn door is open. There's this partition, and you can either go around it on the right or the left.
Emma's looking left.
All right, we'll left.
Left. Both of you quickly rush through, seeing that there are people behind you. You leave the door to the barn open as XC climbs up and in to see what is inside of here. And quickly you are greeted with livestock stalls, very much meant for horses and cows and the like to be stored in here. But as you take one step in here, that kind of snowy feel beneath your feet gives way to a squishy... You look down and your feet are wet, your boots covered in crimson as you look over. Hay strewn about and blood tossed across the hay here. You see, tied in each of the stalls are men and women and some children, held up with collars and bonds, holding themselves against the wooden frames there, their arms locked upwards and their feet all tied together in heavy chains. Each of these stalls, maybe about 12 stalls in total, contain anywhere from 5 to 10 people. There are a huge number of people in here, all of them scarred across the face, many of them wearing collars with needles pointed upwards towards their neck, preventing them from making any aggressive attempt to escape here from this barn. Roll me a perception as you enter this room.
Are there keys hanging anywhere?
We will see.
Natural 20.
Natty 20.
Natty 20.
What'd you say, Ashen?
Sorry, 16.
16. Emma, as you walk into the room, or we'll start with Ashen. Ashen, as you walk into the room, you see all of these people. As soon as you walk in, you can tell people being here is not a good sight for them. As soon as you make your presence known, that you kind of hear gasps as many of them try and scoot to the back of each of these stalls as best they can, trying to get away. You notice a myriad of races here, from elves to gnomes, halflings, dwarves, humans, dragonborn as well. There's 2 of them in here, and even a small kind of drow woman. But as you look in, there's a rack onto the side. There are tons of keys lining this wall. More keys than there are people here. You're not sure if that's helpful or not, but there's like janitor racks of keys on here. There are also pitchforks and needles and great bleeding instruments, knives that are meant to cause bleeding cuts, like they would use for cutting like pigs in a farmhouse or in a slaughterhouse to bleed them. You see them lining the walls. You also see a bag, quite familiar to you, on the wall, and a bow strung up and hung on the wall. A black satchel made of black leather is hung next to the bow. Emma, as you run in, taking a quick look into the stalls, you see all of these people here, a myriad of races, and in the back of one of the stalls, you see a familiar tiefling woman.
Emma's gonna run straight to her.
Lucilla, very familiar to you from before, kind of purple with purplish red with long black hair. You can see her face is completely battered and bruised, a swollen over left eye socket, black as the night. As she looks up to you, you can see it takes her a second to even recognize you, as her eye is so quite swollen shut there. But before she does, she looks, Emma?
Emma takes her hand and gently places it like right on her cheek and casts Cure Wounds on first level.
As you heal her, you can begin to see the swelling in her eye begin to fade. Some of the people
12.
here, 12?
12 points of healing.
Perfect. Some of the people here, now seeing you not as a threat but as a savior, as soon as you heal her, begin to erupt, making it very difficult to hear things in here as they all begin. It's like, save me, save my daughter, save my father's old, he needs medicine, help him out here. As all of them are tied up, seeing you now as a healer and somebody that could help them out of here. All of them want their help in their turn. Lucilla even tries to say something, but the people in her stall next to her almost push her out of the way and are like, help me, help me.
Emma stops and she looks at these people and says, if you don't shut up, I can't help any of you.
Roll an
And then
intimidation.
Emma kneels back down to talk to Lucilla.
Roll an intimidation.
+3, so that's gonna be 16.
As your large ancestral guardian makes its way into the barn, it kind of holds its way underneath. Everyone kind of stops and gasps, and you take that moment to tell them to shut up and listen to you. A small bit of silence. Some people still pleading out for help, but it's far quieter. Much people listening to you, hoping not to offend you and get their chance to get out of here.
Where do they keep your key?
It's there amongst one of the others. to go. There's forces unseen here. Your ranger friend came. They took him, but
Do you know where they took him?
I don't know. They took him out of here. He left his bow in his bag, but some figure of metal took him out.
Ashrin, grab his bow and bag. We'll need that. Emma's gonna go for the keys, and she's gonna start tossing keys to people. I don't know. Figure it out for yourselves.
We'll pause there for just a moment. Winter, Ordell, Elijah, and Belch. You have chosen to make your way running off towards the eastern side, towards the Cloudmaker. You see a steady stream of people going to and from large crates and pallets of these fireweeds, heading towards the Cloudmaker. There is currently a stream that seems to be moving upwards and towards it. This gives you an opportunity as their backs are faced towards you. You could try and get pretty close to there and maybe try and find a place to hide, though this is a pretty barren and open field. If any of them come out and down the ramp at any point in time, they have a high view. Chances are you'll be seen. It is a very risky maneuver to go very quickly and try and make your way up there, or you can stop and survey the situation and try and figure out what you want to do from there.
Question. You said these are like the fire fields. When Ordell like stands out in the fire fields, because he looks like he's like charcoal, like ash and whatnot, like does he blend in like to some extent?
So you guys have kind of gone around it as you're going more towards the maker itself and less towards the farm. But yes, it is an ashen ground. And even where you're at, there are errant and stray crops that grow out here. You would blend in very much. It is a grayish landscape with various red flowers that glow like fire that kind of seem to grow around here. This seems to be, for lack of a pun on the term, a slash and burn type crop. They're going to build up one field, make a bunch of things, and then once it's done, move over to another field and remake the field and kind of continue to cycle in that sense. So there's a lot of dead and rotted farmland below you at this point. But you do blend in as far as the gray ashen nature of the ground near you.
Then while we're surveying, Ordell's just gonna like start like grabbing like handfuls of like ash and stuff and just like putting it on like Elijah and like Winter, just like so everyone's like more gray, like pulling like Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're getting all muddied up, so like so we can sneak around. But yeah, just yeah, while they kind of examine. So that's what Ordell will take time to do, just so we all blend in with the ground.
As soon as you do that, Belch oh, and he just kind of jumps back and like makes a quick ash angel in the ground and throws up a bunch on himself. As you can see him shake like a dog, getting a lot of the excess off of him. Winter, do you let Ordell kind of coach you in this pseudo camouflage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already pretty gray and black looking anyway, but yes, I will get dirty.
As you're kind of camouflaging yourself there, Elijah says, so as he's like helping rub it underneath his pit and on his armor, getting rid of the shine and stuff, he's like, so what are we doing? Are we going now? Are we making a run for it, or are we waiting? Get them while they come out.
We're gonna
get them guerrilla style.
We should survey for a bit, but I think faster is probably better. As with that light thing, I think things are gonna start moving pretty quickly. So let's just take like a quick knee once we're all suited up, and then we'll go. I think if we sit and wait for our opportunity, we're not gonna find that opportunity.
Too slow, but okay. Belch lays onto the ground and begins rooting through his pack, continually pulling out one stick of dynamite. No. As he pulls out another stick of dynamite, he's like, no, not that one. No. And he seems to be looking for a very specific one as you all sit there. Roll me a perception check, Winter and Ordell.
Ooh, 24. 17 plus 7.
That's 14.
Solid. As you all get here closer towards this great Cloudmaker, you're maybe about a quarter mile away at this point from it. You're not terribly far off from the trail in which they're going to come and walk their way backwards. So that could be a good thing. You're close enough to the stash where they keep grabbing this fireweed, as it's called, that you could go and hide behind that. There's great stacks of it there, right? Or that is going to be the path they're walking on. You know they're going to come back and be grabbing this stuff. You could move off and away from it to the side here, but as you're currently standing, because you had to get closer to take a look, you need to make some action, whether it's moving further away to hide or moving closer to try and hide closer. You know you need to do something.
Let's go. You know what? Let's go closer because I feel like every risky action we take, like we're gonna delay the inevitable. This place is going to go absolutely buck wild, and I know we're not the stealth squad because Elijah's in clunky armor. So yeah, Ordell's gonna try and get everybody to advance.
So we're just gonna run in and just try and kill everyone?
Try and get as central as we can, and if that means we take separate bags, I guess. The first goal is to find Ritter, and if people start getting in our way, I'd say anyone who doesn't look like a vampire, try and at least knock them out.
Okay.
We'll kill them. Let them be reborn in fire if they need to be. This is Ritter. Elijah begins looking around. You see a almost spark in his eye. So he looks and says, "We're in the fire fields here. We are meant to be here. I was meant to do this."
No.
Yes. So I can just see one flaw in our plan, and that's that Elijah, you're really good at fighting people, and also Ordell punches, very impressive. I am slightly better at fighting people when I have other dead things to do it for me, which exploded. So,
I can get you dead things. You want dead things? I'll make dead things.
I love dead things. I would have loved them before. We were about a mile out from...
We make dead things. Here, they come walk back. We make them dead. You have dead things. Done.
Actually, surprisingly, he has a good point.
I agree.
Which is, stick with me, and then whoever we kill, you just start picking people up. You can do that, right?
I can. We could wait here, kill this bunch of dead people that are moving towards us, and then have some more strength before we move in.
You know what? I am okay with this plan. Just stick with me. And Ordell links arms with Winter.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Are you a necromancer?
Yes.
I tried that once. This wasn't for me. The core Crucians would not take me. They said I was too volatile.
Well, I'll take you if you're interested. Not right now, but we can talk about it later.
Good. Yes, let's speak. But for now, I'll get you many dead things. Let's go. Go by things. As you all kind of sneakily head over towards the crates. Roll me stealth rolls for all of you.
Ooh, we do be sneaky. Am I proficient in that? I am. Unnatural 20.
Ooh.
15?
Okay. 2 seconds. Okay. As the four of you kind of kneel down and walk, Elijah makes heavy sounds as you all rush over towards the crates on the side. The heavy plate armor that he wears and the mail underneath, it's not suitable for this sort of stealthy maneuvers. However, luckily it seems that there's not many people around. As you get over towards the boxes, as soon as you do, you begin smelling. It smells exactly like Belch's cave in here. Not that it's rotted and that he has been using the restroom, but the powdery smell. It smells like a gun range as you're here next to these flowers. They glow, and as you get next to the boxes, even you, Ordell, you touch them for a moment and pull your arm off. He's like, ah! It's hot. Even the wood here that has been charred to make sure that the wood doesn't burn, everything here is just hot. It feels like you're standing right next to an oven, next to these large amounts of crates. They probably are stacked 20 feet high and 10 feet wide here as you move and approach the fireweed. As you get slid down to the side, Ordell, with your perception, you peer off to the side and you begin to see them pouring out of the Cloudmaker, walking back down the great curved long ramp in your direction, but none of them seem to be moving in any sort of speedy fashion. If they did notice you, they're not concerned about you.
Ordell's gonna try Spider-Man PS4 style pick people off, start dragging them like if there's anyone he can like get out of the group. Yeah, just basically like if anyone's at the back, like hit them with a bolt and like knock them out, using like all 3 of his attacks per round just to like start knocking people out as quickly as he can.
Okay.
Nodding to Elijah and whatnot, and then dragging him to Winter.
Let's can we so I can take 3. I can take 3 at the moment. And then also can we make sure that we keep at least one of them alive? Maybe we can ask about Ritter, and then perhaps we don't have to search the whole thing, we can just blow it up.
Yeah, we can do that. And then yeah, he's gonna advance, nod to Elijah. Let's start cracking skulls.
As Elijah kind of nods, Elijah says, all right, we'll pull him over here, finish him off. Winter, you'll get your dead men, and you can rise them, and then they'll go up there. I don't think you need it. I think we'll be fine. You shouldn't have to res if you don't feel like it, but trying to say that, no.
Elijah, now is not the time, man.
Fire will provide for us where this is my home.
Be
turf.
cool, man.
As
Okay. Go now, Elijah.
the 2 of you kind of kneel your way beside the crates, waiting for the group to approach so that you can grab some of them and kind of stealth kill before a few of them go back and slowly build up your group. Belch reaches into his pouch and he keeps going before throwing in more dynamite that he doesn't seem to say is up to standards. Before they approach, they're maybe about 50 feet away. You can now hear them talking, though you can't really make out what they're saying, and you can hear their footsteps approaching down this half-graveled pathway, moving away from that large ramp. Before XC, you see the group of 12 headed your way, and you see the spectral visage floating above them. What are you doing?
How far away are they?
They're probably about 250 feet away, and they're at kind of a run. They're not like dashing to get to you, but they are running in your direction.
So my goal was to start initiating at 480.
Yeah, so they were at 500 when you started climbing. So
Got you.
in that time, they got to there.
All right. Well, then I am going to open fire and see if I can cause this group to stop coming direction.
To convince them to stop.
Who are you firing at?
All right. So, my first shot is going to go at the clump of 12 people.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to activate my piercing shot, and we're going to hit as many as we can in a row.
I like it.
All right. So, let's start. Now, I am in prone position, and I do have my bipod and my silencer on, so I do run at advantage, and that is absolutely horrible. So I am going to burn through all my expos today.
Do it.
Yes.
All right.
Quickly, Alex, get your child. Give him all rounds.
Wife,
feel like-
bring the baby.
I want to see the baby.
That's a lot. That's a lot better. I can handle 15. So 15 plus. So it's going to be 19 to hit the first person.
Okay. Roll me a d4.
Of course. That's a 2.
Okay. So, as far as where they're positioned, there's 2 on one outside, 4, 4, and 2. You rolled a 2, so you hit the one standing in front of 3 others. And so this shot definitely hits.
All right, well, we'll do the first damage, and then we will do the attack on everything else in a row behind it.
Yep.
Oh, look at
Oof,
that.
oof, gotta love that.
So that is 26 damage to the first guy. And then for all the subsequent people, it hits on a... It's probably not going to be high enough. That's a 14 to hit. Let me...
That does
I'm
hit.
gonna take
Hits
that.
all of them.
That does hit.
Yep.
Amazing. So then they will each take that damage as well. So
Okay.
all 4 of them take 26.
Okie dokie. As the first shot, you finally line yourself up there. You see the spectral figure above them, glowing a kind of tealish color, though that's more the tint from your glasses. You aim down at the first man running towards you and fire a shot center mass going right through his sternum. You can see the hole behind him as the torch behind him drops, and it slams through the second person's chest, the gut of the other one, and like the pelvis, hip bone region of the third one. Just three of them right in a row. The bottom half of the last one is almost split entirely as he tries to walk before all four of them fall and drop. You do see a lot of blood.
That's the hope. I will then line up my second shot.
I want it to look like my background.
Hold on.
Yeah, make yourself disappear.
Yeah. I'll just do this right. There we go.
That's what the guy at the back of the line sees. Like, oh, okay,
Uh-oh.
good.
No, he
Alright.
was 3 days from retirement.
I will aim my second shot, and I will instead aim this at the floating figure above.
Ooh, okay.
I am going to drop 2 grit points on my violet shot.
Violet
And
shot
I
does.
will, extra d12 damage per grit point.
Perfect.
Then we'll go in for a roll. I'm happy with a 17 plus 4 is 21 to hit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. It is magical for the sake of this roll. Oh, that's not very good.
Do you call grit before deciding if it hits or after? Important for this. Ooh, the tension.
When you make a firearm attack against a creature, you can expend 1 or more grit points.
Okay, so it's when you make the attack. So yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
correct.
You about to say a 21 does not hit because,
14, 15, 25.
uh-oh.
So it'd be 29 potential damage, depending on what you're about to tell us.
29.
Yep.
Okay. As the shot fires, you infuse the bullet with magic so that if this creature is invisible or resistant to any sort of non-magical damage, it will still just lodge right inside the creature. But as it does so, if you could disappear once again, the man behind him's head explodes in a shower of blood as the bullet flies directly through this ethereal creature. And you killed a farmer, but this figure itself seems to almost stop in place and look up towards you. Would that be your turn, quote unquote?
That is going to be my turn with 5 drop.
This is good.
I am at stealth with at advantage too.
Yeah, no worries. As you fire up towards them, actually go ahead and roll me a stealth roll for that. We'll use a new one instead of your old one.
Let's use Brie's dice of awesomeness. Look at that. So that is 23.
23, solid. They actively saw you people and are running towards you, but some of them in the group might not have. As this sudden fire and shower of blood appears before them. However, the spectral phantasm that you shot towards suddenly in your vision goes from this tealish color to a much more solidified version. You almost can't see through it now as it wails out in a ghostly cry and begins to zoom in that direction. Some of the farmers stop for a second looking around in fear of what's happening towards them, but this ghostly wail seems to make them almost turn towards, now not afraid of that, but more afraid of what this creature is, as they look up towards it now, seeming to see it and follow behind, running as best they can, leaving the other bodies behind. Ordell, Winter, as all of you are there about to pounce upon these others, you hear a ghastly wail come from behind. You suddenly hear a stop of all the footsteps. You don't have a good count of all the people there, as you don't want to really make yourself seen, but all of the people that were coming in your direction stop. You hear muffled chatter before some of them begin to kind of almost yell, and begin running off in that direction. You hear a ton of footsteps going to rush by you and head off towards where they heard the wail. As you look back about a mile away, you can see this kind of whitish blue glow towards the barns. You can't quite make out what it is, but the people begin running off in that direction. This is, since you were kind of speaking about it before, an opportunity to attack everybody all at once, if that's what you want, or if you're trying to guerrilla warfare them, this would not be the time.
So they're moving away from the Cloudmaker towards the farms.
Yep, they're going to run on the road, which is directly by where you're at now with all the crates. They're going to pass by you. If you hide, they might not see you as they run by, as their focus is currently elsewhere. But they are going to be running right by you.
I'm going to grab a hold of Ordell's arm and say, I think we should wait.
Ordell nods and extinguishes himself and nods to Elijah and Sweet Mouse Lad. And yeah, we'll wait. If there's any stragglers, Ordell's not gonna like avoid the opportunity, but he's gonna prioritize hiding for now.
As Winter suggests that, then Elijah lays down onto the ground and kind of rolls army style to get behind the crates. Belch gets on all fours and quickly hides along the side of him. All four of you roll me a stealth roll again.
Fuck, I'm going to use inspiration.
22.
18.
Winter, you're out of inspos now, if I'm correct, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Right, as the four of you roll off to the side, you hear heavy boot steps, farmers, farmhands, and some that sound larger, I guess, possibly from different races. You are not able to get a good view from where you're at here, but you quickly roll behind these stacks and stacks of fireweed and begin to see not just a dozen, but a couple dozen farmhands seeming to rush offwards in that direction towards the barn itself. You see what look to be like 2 or 3 Goliath figures amongst them, where there's about 50 of them now running towards the side. Some of them grab some torches off to the side, some of those little rake-like hoes, the small ones in their hand, a few of them with sickles and whatnot, as they begin rushing over towards the barn. Emma Ashrin. Emma, you're reaching up towards the keys before you hear a loud, ghastly wail from outside. And as soon as you do, you kind of turn instinctually to take a look at it before you, Emma, you're reaching up towards the keys, feel a cold, cold grip on your hand. You turn very quickly back and see a white, ghostly figure, almost entirely incorporeal, but has made itself visible to the mortal realm as it grasps your hand, reaching for the keys. I need you to roll a con save.
I'm going to roll that con save. As I'm rolling the con save, I said, Ghost, I would like you to meet mine, as I point to.
I love it.
Oh, 19 plus 3, so 22.
As you stare up to it, you begin to see it look you directly in the eyes, where before you heard the ghostly wail from behind, this one sounds different. It looks toward you and almost kind of as if it's trying to speak something into a realm that it no longer has vocal cords. It looks at you and its jaw begins to drop and elongate. You can feel the icy cold grip on your hand, and you begin to feel yourself almost pulled towards it. When your large ancestral guardian steps nearby, if it could shake the ground, it would, and kind of reinvigorates your confidence. Ashrin, the stepping of this figure causes you to turn and look and see the ghastly figure now holding Emma by the arm as you say, "This is mine," as you resist its charms, is the best way to put it.
Can I have it roll a dex save?
Absolutely. For the guardian?
16. Yep, 16.
As it's holding your arm, the guardian brings up its... What weapon did you want it to have? I think it was a scythe?
Yeah,
wrong?
let's just make it a scythe.
Cool.
I don't remember what it was.
It pulls up its war scythe, not like a farmer's scythe. This one pulls
Oh,
up a
yeah.
war scythe and begins to bring it down towards you. If it were to hold on to your hand, it would absolutely be cleaved. However, this ghostly figure moves backwards and begins to glow a bright, burning white. Ashrin, as it moves away from you and Emma, you can make an attack of opportunity against it if you'd like.
Yes, please, with my new short sword.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it make the save or not?
Yeah, nat 20 did actually.
Oh, cool.
Still takes
it
half.
still takes 10 radiant damage.
Yeah, as the scythe plummets down him. So let me see what Ashrin does, and then we'll describe it.
Cool.
Alrighty, roll to hit. Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does.
11 points of piercing damage.
Ooh. As you, for a short sword, it'll be slashing now if you're using the new one.
Ah, why does it say D&D Beyond says piercing? I will fix that.
Dumb is what it is. As you pull out, please sponsor us.
No.
As you pull out the short sword and slice into this creature, what would be a direct kidney blow, crippling it, looks towards you. It's white hot form now glowing red in the place where your blade cut against it. It wails out in pain, much like the one you heard outside wails outwards. As Ordell, Winter, XC, all of you hear another ghastly wail, this time coming from inside the barn. You hear XC. As XC, you're unaware of the other group headed towards you that's a mile away at this point from the Cloudmaker. You're still kind of currently focused on this one thing directly in front of you here and now. Ordell, Winter, and Elijah and Belch, you're letting this group run by, correct? Perfect.
Yeah, basically, if there's anybody that's like far enough behind that like they could be taken out without like any alarm, like I think one zombie is better than none for Winter, but if it's not possible, then we let them run.
Okay. You begin to see the group run by. With Ordell's passive perception, you notice looking up towards the Cloudmaker, there's great lights coming inside of there, as if fires are lit from within. Much different than the last one, where fire would have been very, very bad. Looking up in there, you see a silhouetted figure standing in the door frame that seems to run off towards the inside of the Cloudmaker. You're not sure what it's doing, but it looks out, seeing what's happening, and disappears off. It is currently 7:44, about to be 7:45. There's a lot of stuff about to happen, so why don't we take a quick break before we get started into that. We'll come back in, we'll say 8 minutes, 7:53, and we'll see what the split party can do. Be right back, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye.
No. Well, true. Welcome back, everybody. I hate it. I'm going to start GFYing it. Welcome back, everybody. We left the party in good hands, and we're going to continue right from there. Make sure you enter that giveaway for the end of the night for that blind bag, though, if you haven't done so, because we
This
got
is where we
3
go
blind
home.
bags to 1 winner. What'd you say?
Oh, this is where we go home to our families, to a warm bed, and cuddle and surrounded by our loved ones, right?
Yeah,
Rybo?
absolutely. I mean,
That's my plan.
there's room in the livestock pen. We can make everybody fit in here. No worries. But so we'll continue there. Emma, Ashrin, you are currently in combat with this ghastly figure. Exy, as are you, as well as these other farmhands that seem to be running your way. Winter, Ordell, Elijah, and what did I mess up? Winter, Ordell.
Nothing. I played a phone vibration and I just saw Brie just start going, what?
was like,
Just immediately.
Me, and then I looked up and I was like, fucking Jake.
Oh, I hear it now. Okay.
We want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
That's all these ghosts are trying to do. Your cart's extended warranty.
Nothing important that we're doing right now. Like,
Okay.
100%. Just bring the sound effects in, Jakey. It's all good.
It's to break the tension before our next break, you know?
So,
Mhm.
Winter and Ordell with Elijah and Belch, as you see this other group heading off and you saw that figure heading back into the Cloudmaker, what are you all doing? You're currently next to large stacks of the fireweed. The Cloudmaker is ahead, and you see about 50 farmhands heading off in the direction of the barn.
So there's no stragglers. There's like no one like
They all kind
on
of
point.
gathered all of their stuff and are heading off in that direction. That does not mean that
I mean, if
the
there's-
Cloudmaker is empty.
I mean, if there's an opening to get through the entrance, I think that's as good a start as any. So yeah, just a sneak way in. I think Ordell's gonna. See, I was about to say Ordell would wait for everybody to make sure they're all sneaky, but I just realized if there's someone around the corner, Ordell's gonna take point.
Okay, you all heading up towards the ramp to get towards the Cloudmaker?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Ordell, Winter, Elijah, and Belch. You kind of give the nod and the go-ahead, and foregoing stealth, trying to get up the ramp and to the Cloudmaker as quickly as possible. You're now, for setting the scene, this huge, tall structure, maybe about 400 or 500 feet high, 100 feet off the ground. You're going to be heading up this great stone bridge-like ramp that leads up to it. There's two pillars, one in the back, but two that you can see here that seem to hold it upwards, made out of great stone and marble, holding this thing off of the ground as you begin rushing up towards the ramp. But we're going to come back to you all in a bit. XC.
No, you can keep going with them. It's perfectly fine.
XC, this ghastly figure zooms towards you, where it was 240 feet away. In that time after it shoots you, it quickly flies off and is maybe about 120 feet away from you at this point. Its farmhands following somewhat close behind, but not nearly as quick as this thing. You hear a ghastly wail mimicking its down from inside the barn as well, coming up through the slats of the roof.
Right. I am going to, now that it seems to be a bit more corporeal, take another. We'll start with a shot and see what happens.
Do it.
If we can actually damage this or not.
Okay. Regular shot?
No, so this will be magical stone, so it will be magical as well.
Okay.
But I'm not doing any grit or anything else at the moment. Just my normal time of a type of shot.
Perfect.
17 plus is 22, 23. This one.
Definitely hits.
All right, so damage, or we'll see if it damages or not, is 24, 25, 26 damage.
26. Okay. As you see it flying towards you, for flavor, you shoot in the ground as it's moving up, but it moves far quicker than you think. You take a moment to aim and shoot right towards it, hitting its center mass. This time, just like before, it's a stopping bullet. It hits right in where its sternum is and would be. Huge bouts of this kind of white ectoplasm fly off of it in huge chunks. The bullet lodges directly inside this creature. It doesn't seem to wail out in any sort of pain, but its momentum stops for just a moment. It is now part of the mortal realm, and you can seem to hit it, though you cannot exactly tell how much damage you're doing to this thing.
That's fine. I will happily, or as happy as a non-emotional being is, fire a second shot straight into it.
I will neutrally fire.
Neutrally fire.
Like a Swedish army man.
I will throw another grit point into this as well on violent.
I guess it wouldn't be Swedish, it'd be Swiss, like Switzerland, right?
Wish. Oh, look at that. That's a crit. That's a nat 20.
Ooh, solid.
I mean, my cam's not even freaking on. So thanks to
Oh, like, you know, the cam went off there.
Jakey, bye. And Brie's not too far behind on a 16, but that's fine. All right, so that does mean that I'm going to roll a lot of dice.
There you are.
So it's 1 point of grit, so it is 4 times.
Emma and
Jeez.
Asherin, you hear the loud thump, thump of the silencer on the roof as XC continually takes shots.
Unfortunately, we currently have our own
That's
problems.
34 magical damage.
How much?
34.
Perfect. So 60 total thus far. As you fire into this thing, a second bullet, this time glowing with energy as you put some extra chutzpah into the bullet and fire it in the same exact spot, hoping to create a hole in this creature and stop it dead center. It fires into, this time, as the creature seems to like pull its arms upwards as if to make some sort of action. That's when you fire. It moves its arm backwards and wails once more in retaliation. Still not exactly sure if you're making much of a dent, but you are hitting this thing.
It's wailing, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I will then activate my action search
Do it.
and fire 2 more times.
Love it.
I'm gonna murder it.
17 plus 22.
Hits. What's the advantage for?
Because when I'm in prone position as a bipod, I get advantage
Gotcha.
on my attacks.
That's right.
And also as a sniper, I also get advantage. So I'm double advantage, but I only roll once anyway.
Boom, boom.
22. But for thematic, I might as well get both.
Yeah, might as
that's a
well.
D20. 20.
Roll to see if the second hit hits at the same time. Might as well just see if they both hit.
Sure. Well, I guess he's not going to die then, is what you're saying. So I am going to take my last inspo because that's a pretty bad roll. And does a 18 hit?
Does not.
All right. Guess we're rolling only the first lot of damage. So that would be 24 magical, and that's all my magic gone until I cast another cantrip. And that is the last of my grip as well for the time being. So 24 more. And then
Perfect.
as my movement action, I am going to jump off the barn in the opposite direction of where this thing is traveling at 5,000 miles an hour towards me.
Okay. That.
You said it's 30 foot, right?
What's up? 30
You
feet
said
high?
it's
Yeah,
30
yeah.
foot. All right, and then that automatically activates my feather.
Perfect. So as you're jumping off opposite the barn to try and lead it away, correct? Is what I'm saying?
No, I'm dropping off so that the barn will be between it and me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Opposite direction of it, so try and
Yeah.
get away from it. Perfect. So yeah, you
My calculations, but 120 foot away,
Yeah.
it would get to the barn next turn. Yeah.
as you jump off of the barn, right before you kind of hit the ground, these kind of jet propulsions activate on your feet, slowing you, very Iron Man, as you land on the ground and turn, hearing the wail and pain of this creature as you shoot towards it. Right as it goes to its turn, yeah, you hear the wail get closer and closer. Yeah, that's all you see, actually, since you can't see from the other side of the barn. You do hear it get closer, but you're not sure what's happening. Emma and Ashrin, you hear it come closer outside the barn as well, but you've got your own issues. Let's go to you. Emma and Ashrin, who has the higher dex?
Mine's only a
Ashrin.
14.
Yeah, +2.
What's
Mine's
your
a +2
number?
as well, but it's a 14.
14.
14. Ashrin, you're going to go first because alphabetical. As Ashrin, you already pulled your sword out. As the slice into the side of it, the great scythe comes down, shooting out bits of light energy into this thing when it wails out in defiance. It is going to go, and then it will go Ashrin and Emma to follow. As you pulled your sword and shield out, Emma, you hold your staff up at the ready. This thing wails outwards, and it reaches its arms down towards one of the shackled people in the pen nearby. And it quickly pulls at them, pulls two of them, one with each arm, and you can hear bones break as it pulls. They go, no, 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 as they pull, and the chain itself breaks off of the wood on the wall as it sends them flying off towards you, as it throws them hurtling in your direction. Both of you make me a dex save.
Excuse me?
Both of us make a dex save?
Yep.
You can't throw people. That's a 17.
15.
17 and 15. Emma, you dodge out of the way, which you feel good and also a little bad about, as you see this gnome that he pulls from the chain off of the wall. You can hear it break, and you can feel his arm, or see his arm dangle limp as he throws, hitting on the large log post holding up the barn on the side as the gnome, like a crashed car, horseshoes around the post. The other one, this kind of young elvish man gets flown towards you, Asher, and you hold up your shield to block it, and in doing so, it kind of hits, knocking both of you backwards. You land in the crowd of people behind you. As this man hits your shield, you can see, before you even take the shield downwards, the blow was so heavy, you see blood beginning to pour outside and over the edge of your shield. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. Your arm feels almost numb as this thing slams into the side of your shield.
Good God.
I need both of you to make charisma saves.
Okay.
Oh no. We're all gonna die.
Better,
Hey,
better,
natural
better,
20
better.
plus 6.
21.
21.
19. 19.
Okay, so both of you got pretty high then. So as this thing throws both of them, everyone in here erupts in fear. From their sounds, this is not the first time they've heard of something like this. As it looks toward you, its jaw drops even further, moving past any humanoid's capability, almost moving down below its navel as it screams out and wails. Many of the people try and run as far away as they can in their cells from this thing, trying not to be the next things to get picked up and tossed. You're not afraid of it. You're more angry.
I got hurt. Concentration for Shield of Faith.
Yes, please.
I
Thank
rolled
you.
rolled a natural 20 though.
Oh, well,
So,
solid. There you go. Honesty points.
still ha-
Have an inspo for your honesty.
That's a plus 2, right?
Yes.
Cool. So just as a heads up for Ryan, I've got a 20 AC at the moment.
Okay, sounds good. Right, then it's going to go to Asherin and then Emma.
For attack? Oh, yes.
Your turn.
Hopefully.
If you want to. If not, you can chill there.
Since I played a lot of
We
Pokemon
surrender.
recently, and a lot of Pokemon, like, can I just run? There's no option to get out of the
Yeah,
grass and,
please.
like,
Yeah.
run.
I throw bait.
Okay. Repel,
Safari.
please.
Yeah, Safari's on this thing.
I've done
This is,
Uh,
you're fighting missing no.
it. Sorry, 24 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay, and that one will be a. Oh, that's a. No, that's not what I wanted to roll. 13 points for the first attack,
Okay.
and then
Correct me as a paladin now, because you're level 8, right?
yeah.
Level 8 paladin,
Yeah.
you should have some automatic radiant damage with your blade now, right? Maybe not
that
as
one-
your Oathbreaker paladin, but typically whenever you get smites at a certain point, you start to just do extra damage with your attacks.
You know what? I will look into that, so I won't hold up the.
Okay, for
round,
now we'll do it, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
next one.
Yes. All right, second attack. That 21 to hit,
Hits.
and then I get to. I'll die. I lost my D4. Okay, that's a 14, and then I will also smite.
Perfect.
14, and then find smite 2D. Oh, 2D8. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. 8 radiant damage. Wait, 2D8. 8. And then first. Okay, sorry. It's 8. Is it undead or fiend?
It do be that.
Okay, then another one. And 16 points of radiant damage.
Ooh, solid. An extra hit then. All right, so. Aha, funny number of damage dealt to it so far. As Asherin quickly gets up from this group of people, all of them kind of running away, some of them pushing you up towards it, afraid, almost offering you as sacrifice to keep this thing away. You are quickly lifted to your feet before you jump forward, kneeling downwards, slicing at it once across the belly and then stabbing directly into it with your short sword. You can see the blade in itself cut almost a hole in this ectoplasmic being, but the final stab where your energy pours outwards, its entire color has shifted from a whitish color to now this almost pinkish red as your smite courses through its quote-unquote veins. Solid attack. All right, is that it? Perfect. Then it's gonna go to Emma.
Emma looks at this thing, her eyes reignite with that like really fiery purple, and she just, and as she does, she's gonna be doing Channel Divinity Path to the Grave and cursing this creature. So the next thing that hit it is vulnerable, and she looks over to her Guardian of Faith and just gives a nod as it.
Dex save.
Yep.
Your DC.
16.
It does beat it, so it gets halves to 10, but then
And
it's
then
radiant, and
back
then it's
up to
doubled.
20.
So solid hit into it. As you look up to your giant friend, the scythe then, as it comes down once again, misses. This time, however, your creature almost spins it and hits the ghost with the back end of the scythe, a more blunt type punch with his hand on the pommel, and in doing so a shower of purple energy mixes with the red smite, as this thing is a cacophony of bright lights. It looks to be fading from view is the best descriptor I can give.
Then I guess with a bonus action, I'm gonna go ahead and just summon my spiritual weapon.
Do it.
As the familiar scythe with three little imps appear.
Are you still bringing out little ruckuses?
Surprisingly, they are, except for they're no longer imps. They are full skeletal little creatures.
Perfect.
Which
As
kind of looks more unnerving. It looks like a bunch of baby skeletons
with giant heads, as they help hold the
with giant
scythe
heads
and
and horns.
run towards. Yeah, and then I don't think you do. Yeah, it makes an attack the first time spiritual weapon comes out. I should know. Stronghold.
Beautiful. In that case, that's going to be a. I'm gonna assume this is gonna hit a 16 plus 8.
Does hit.
And that's going to be 6 plus 5, so 11 more force damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's force, not radiant, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
As it gets knocked against the wall by your giant creature, 3 small little skeletons come and pin it against the wall with the scythe. You can hear the scythe gunk right into the wood before the thing kind of apparates itself through the scythe, but it's definitely hurt between all the damage that you're doing. Right at the end of your turn, because I don't think there's anything else you can do unless you want to move away.
No, that's gonna be it.
The end of your turn, Ordell, Winter, Elijah, and Belch. You run up the pathway, trying to get up to the Cloudmaker as fast as you can. You look back briefly to see the group running along behind you. I need all of you to roll me a perception roll, Winter and Ordell. Elijah is focused on the path ahead of him.
14.
14.
16.
Okay. As you're running, you're going up towards the door where you hear the great sound of the machine, and it muffles out a lot of the other sounds nearby. You begin to go up this ramp that has no bottom to the ramp. It's almost alien in nature in that it's this smooth concrete ramp that goes upward that's maybe about 6 inches thick, but there's nothing holding itself up except magic itself. The heavy sounds of the machinery distract you. As you look back, you don't hear anything coming towards you, but it is only at the last second that you hear the beating of heavy stone wings. Ordell, Winter, both roll me d20s to see who gets highest.
5.
2.
Ooh, okay, well, it's going to be... Give me 2 seconds. I need to look something up.
No, make Elijah roll. Maybe he'll get like.
Oh, no,
like
Elijah
like
and
we
Belch
did.
rolled. They got 16 and 19.
Nice. Heck
Good.
yeah.
Love it.
This 2 do be looking good. So this is to decide how strong the monster that's about to hit us is with the wings, right? So
yeah,
a
for
2
sure.
means it's super weak.
Mm-hmm.
As you're running, you kind of look backwards, and for a moment, Ordell says, "Oh, we're way past them. There's nothing to worry about here." As Winter's like, "Yeah, of course." Elijah and Belch are like, "He's on the price. We must keep going." Elijah's like, "Yeah, let's not get distracted." As the two of them run, you hear woof, as both Ordell and Winter, you feel yourself almost tackled by like a freight train towards you, as you feel yourself suddenly lifted off of the bridge. You're about 50 feet up at this point, as something slams against you, both taking 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Looking now as you feel yourselves grasped by heavy claws and stone appendages, as you hear the wings of the gargoyles that lifted you off of the stone walkway. They must have been on the actual towers themselves as inanimate gargoyles, but as you approach, made themselves defenders of this walkway. But the two of you are 50 feet up in the air off of the walkway, now a little bit away from your friends Elijah and Belch.
So are we in the talons of the gargoyles?
Yes.
The same one or different ones?
You each have your own gargoyle. Isn't that fun? 30 feet away. One of you
I
is
was
on
hoping
one
for
side,
one
one is
big
on the
one.
other.
I was like, man, we're fighting on a bridge, one big gargoyle. Is Rybo finally giving me my Mecha Ridley fight that I've been like posting on fan boards about? But you know what? It's
Hey, you're
two
not at the
half
Gothic
Mecha Ridley
Tower
fights,
yet.
and I'll take that.
I don't know if we can split the party any more than what we already have.
Well, we'll keep
Not-
trying.
Because here's what's gonna happen: another gargoyle's gonna come and grab XC, and then we're just all gonna get even farther apart. I think while we're flying up, Ordell's just gonna start shooting bolts at the gargoyle that's holding on to Winter, because I'm assuming Winter has a much lower chance of getting away from big claws than I am. So I'm gonna just lay.
One sec.
shots
Who has
into
the?
it.
I think you have the higher dex over Brie, correct, or over Winter?
Yeah, but yeah, I have +4.
Yeah. Sorry about taking your
Hilarious.
fingers away, but sorry. Yes. Then we'll go to you first. Then.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use a key because my short rest gave it back to me, and I've got a new ring, so I can do 10 key things a day. Isn't that crazy? Look at me
so
now,
good.
Mom. Mom and I was about to make a joke about having a stepdad, but that's not a thing. Anyway, I'm gonna just start shooting attacks.
Step gargoyle.
What are you doing, Step Gargoyle?
My real
Anyway,
gargoyle.
No.
vomits in common. Anyway, 19 plus 7 does a 26 hit.
Definitely hits.
Does a not as good, a 14 hit?
Does not hit.
Okay. Another 19 hits, and 15 plus 7 is 22.
Hits.
Okay, so that was 3 hits. Okay, what am I at for
One of them was a
my
miss.
blasting? Yeah, but I use key, so I do flurry of blows,
gotcha,
so I
gotcha,
do
gotcha.
4.
Perfect.
What is my thing? It's a D6. Okay. Okay. So, I'm just gonna quickly like jot this down. Okay, it's +4, so that's 3 and 6. Or wait, no, that last one was moot. Just kidding. I rolled too many. Okay. So with +4, that's 12, and then 6, 11. So that's 23 radiant damage, hitting that gargoyle that's holding Winter.
23 radiant damage. Perfect. Winter, as you feel the stone claws like dig into your shoulders and carry you offwards, you see bolts of fiery light slam into the stone on the side and blowing off chunks of stone from its wings. This is good. You're being helped, but also scary.
Because I'm still 50 feet up, right?
Yep.
That's far.
That's far.
Is it my turn? Are we doing
I think
turn
you're
things?
done, correct, Ordell?
Yeah, I'm just trying to kill Winter as fast as possible because I don't really take fall damage, but I know Winter does.
You can make an opposing strength check if you want to break free of the gargoyle's grasp.
Yeah, if I can do that and try and like get towards Winter, if that's a thing.
Yeah, you eventually. After some physics happens.
Oh yes. Okay.
What was the roll?
Oh, I am rolling. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like Winter on her turn was going to.
On you.
Okay. I mean, is my save? Is it a save or athletics? Sorry.
Strength save. Because
that's
basically it's the
okay.
same
I
thing,
do.
but we'll do strength save.
Strength saves are actually a thing I can do. Okay, then that 16 is an unnatural 20. Would have been just 17.
Solid 20 is what you need here. As you're fighting to break free from the gargoyle, you peel back one of its stone fingers and it shrieks out in reply. And as you're falling, you're like, ha ha! But realize that you're falling 50 feet downwards towards the ground. And so we'll come back to that on your turn. Winter. It blasts, bolts of fiery light blast into the gargoyle, carrying you off. You see Elijah and Belch on the stone walkway as you move slowly further and further away. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Chill Touch, and I'm gonna generate some purple energy in my hands, some green energy rather, in my hands, and spurt it out so that this big skeletal hand comes and just smacks the gargoyle on the nose.
Just no.
But it is gonna do radiant damage.
Ooh, solid. Like your ring.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's a save or is yours to hit? I forget what the chill touch.
It's to hit.
It's Boda Drew to hit. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll it.
Dirty 20.
Definitely hits.
Perfect. That's gonna be a big 8.
As let's see, the glowing green hand slaps the gargoyle in the face. It makes a loud stone thud as the magic hits it. You can see its nose breaks off and falls downwards to the ground, both being like, yeah, I hit it, and being like, oh, that's a long way down, as you slam into the gargoyle. It's looking pretty rough right now from all the attacks dealt to it.
I'm gonna yell at it, even though I'm fairly confident it's a construct. You put me down very gently, and I won't hit you again.
What languages do you speak?
I'm just gonna say it in common. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna say it in Draconic.
Okay. So a very devilish, yeah. As it looks down at you with its ghoulish face and shrieks before beginning to fly upwards. Elijah and
No, the other way.
Elijah and Belch. Elijah sits there on the edge of the bridge and holds his sword. There's not really much Elijah can do at a range. Belch, however, pulls out a small stick of dynamite in his hand and asks Elijah to light it up. As Elijah says, no, I can't, we'll hit him, before Ordell's like, ha ha, falling out of the sky. Says, okay, go, little one. Before Belch grabs it and yeets it upwards towards the gargoyle. It doesn't quite hit. He rolled pretty low there, and he's not a multi-attack class. As Belch throws it, he seems to have mistimed it. Had it gone a little further before he threw it, it took Elijah, time to light it up and say that it was okay. It kind of blows up before it gets to the gargoyle. Ordell, you are very afraid that Belch might hit you with a explosive at some point, as it kind of the blast of it forces you down a little faster.
They didn't know you were there. They do now.
Stealth. As you all hear loud off to the side, XC, let's go back to you. You are running away from the barn at this point. You hear that ghostly thing. You know it is coming at some point in your direction before you hear loud off towards the east. What are you doing?
I've jumped off the barn. I'm
yeah.
Away from you, okay, so I can't see. I'm going to do a quick scan to make sure I can't see anything above the barn.
Okay. Looking upwards, roll a perception.
11 plus 7. Oh, it's 7. 18.
You see nothing up and above. You have your vision on, hoping to see it if it does disappear or exit this realm, but you don't see anything up there.
All right, I will run inside the barn.
Okay. So you jumped off on the side opposite. So getting to the front will probably take about 30 feet of movement for you to get right at the doorway.
I'm happy to spend my whole move to go all the way inside.
Yeah, so your whole move is what, 30 or 40?
Well, I'll do a move and then I'll do a dash. That's
okay, you're going to dash? Okay. So,
well, actually, it's less than an hour, so I can do 40 still. Still got long strider running.
Okay. So if you want to run and try and get in the barn a little bit, you definitely can.
Sure, we'll do that first.
Okay. As you turn the corner, you immediately see your ghastly victim or assailant, depending on how much damage you think you've done to it, standing in front of the barn, heading in your direction. As it speeds off towards you, it kind of catches you mid as it stopped right in front of the barn. So as you turn the corner, you can kind of stop and reassess. You can either run 20 feet back or you can run 20 feet in, but you're going to have to run right by this ghostly figure.
All right, so that took me my move to get there, right? Because
20 feet so far. You can go another 20 to either get
then
all
I'm
the way
gonna
in the
stop
barn or
and
go
just
back.
open fire at 0 range, pretty much.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
I'll flick my arm. The front barrel folds back, so it's got like the shotgun mode, and I will fire 2 shots into it.
Do it. As you quickly turn the corner, you almost skittishly stop and just break your barrel in half with an intended break where it's supposed to, and make yourself have a more spread out shot to try and hit this thing.
That's another nat 20.
Solid.
And from Jakey again.
Go ahead and roll both hits just to see.
Yep. There's the first one.
Jakey on fire tonight for other people.
16 from a Brie, so that's 23 to hit.
Both hit.
Unfortunately, they're no longer magical.
Good to know.
So
11 and clear.
11 and 2. Do you want them separate or just together?
Just give me it all at once.
Okay, cool. $41.
Solid. We'll round up for you, cause nice boy that I am. As you fire into this thing, this time no time to load any sort of magic ammunition, just what's in the chamber. Quickly fire off 2 shots as you kind of slowly back away from it as it approaches you. The shots fire through it, no longer like lodging into it, just kind of clipping the sides of it, but it still does kind of. It gets hit by it. You can see sprays of the ectoplasm, and this thing is beginning to look a little bit more transparent than when you were shooting at it before. Anything else you're doing?
And then if I can use the rest of my move to back away, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So go back around the other side of the barn.
Then I'm going to keep it in my sights.
Okay, so you move a little bit further, we'll say towards the eastern windmill, which will be towards where the other people are coming, but they're still a ways away.
Which I don't know anyway. So
yeah, exactly. So after your turn, this ghostly figure, much like what happened to Emma and Ashrin, its jaw just begins to droop downwards. I need a charisma save from you.
A charisma save.
2. Fear is the mind killer, except this time it kills your mind. As you look towards this thing, you have not fought an entity like this. It's more the fact that your bullets go right through it than the fact of its hideously deformed face that scares you. Logically, you make sense to yourself that you need to just get away from this thing to get to a better vantage point. But this thing is a formidable foe, and you are aware of it. You're considered feared. As it does so, you see it reach its arms upwards, much like it did towards Emma and Ashrin, except this time in the distance, you hear, "No, no, no!" And coming around the side of the barn, you see some of the farmers that were running behind it immediately get dragged and pulled by some magical force as they reach their hands into the ground. Must be ripping off whatever nails they have on their fingers not to be dragged by this before it flings both of its hands towards you, and 2 of the farmers behind get flown via magic in your direction like projectiles at you. Need 2 dex saves from you. With fear, I don't think you're at disadvantage.
I don't think either.
I'll double check it.
But let me know.
Go ahead, and then I will...
19 and 18.
Perfect. Okay, I've got it frightened. Disadvantage on ability checks. That's not the same thing. Nope, yep, you're good. So 19 and 18. As this thing flings 2 of the farmers towards you, you quickly dodge out of one before backing up and away from this ghoulish creature. As another one flies by, both of them slam into some of the empty crates and farming equipment nearby between the barn and the windmill. You can see both splinters of wood, bone, and blood go flying offward into the ground nearby. The ghost then slowly moves its way towards you, getting within melee range of you. Ashrin, Emma, you've got your turn before its turn. Actually, no, it went before you. I've had the enemies go before all of you each time. So, as the things have been fly towards you, you've slashed at it with your ancestral guardian. It begins to grab two other creatures. Chat, high or low?
Don't you do it. Oh, you evil, evil man.
Let's go ahead and do dex saves for Ashrin and Emma. But
You're evil.
okay,
Emma, are you within 10 feet of me? Because I'm looking at my auras now. Are you within 10 feet?
I should be.
You have +2 to saves.
I can't.
ooh, yeah, you're definitely within 10 feet. I'm seeing more lows than high.
Using an inspo. Do, 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 do.
Same.
Okay, much better. What deck save? So +2, so +4, so 22.
22,
26.
26.
I know who you're throwing, and I don't like it.
Low does not meet the 15 of the d20 that I rolled, as one of the dragonborns nearby is quickly lifted up, and in a deep kind of growl, her voice of this blue dragonborn is flung towards you. Once again, Emma, you duck, hoping to save it, but there's not much you can do as it slams into one of the great log posts holding up the barn. You can hear the wood splinter with the heavy scales of the dragonborn. Ashrin, however, you look towards the ghostly figure and hear a familiar cry from a tiefling woman that is flung in your direction. You do your best to help, seeing who is being flown towards you, not so much trying to dodge but trying to help before she gets flown towards you. But with your shield, you have to put it up. You try and make it as soft a landing as possible. You feel it's better than the wood, but it slams against your shield. You can hear a loud quack as she falls limp, but doesn't splinter off like all the rest that you've seen. Maybe that heal, Emma, came in handy here, but you're not sure, as this ghostly figure cries out once more before fading from view. Ashrin, Emma, what are you doing?
Immediately doing a second level Cure Wounds, which for me, because I assume she's at 0 hit points and not dead yet, brings it up all the way. So that's going to be...
Hey, Filthy Law, thanks for the raid.
So 16, so 22 immediate health.
22. As you run to Lucilla's side as she lays there, a now huge gash going across her cheek, you take some of the purple flame and cauterize the wound, immediately sealing up her tiefling skin. It'll probably leave a permanent scar for how deep that gouge was, but she doesn't seem to have been dead after being tossed that way. Your first heal might have kept her alive from this, and the second one definitely revitalizes her. You can see her begin to stir. As Ashrin, what are you doing during this time?
So the thing just disappeared?
Vanished. From sight.
I don't trust it. I can't. Ooh, and we don't have a view of the outside either. We don't know what's going on outside.
You do not. To be fair, Emma and Ashrin, you do hear of an explosion off very, very far in the distance.
So, okay. Emma, I think we need to get out of here. I mean...
Emma's gonna try and pick up Lucilla.
As you go to pick her up, you hear cries from many, many of the others in there. They say, no, you can't just leave us. You get the keys, help us out of here. You cannot leave us with that thing. You see what we're here with.
Ruckus
pulls open your purse, says, yeah.
You stay here and help them escape. And she's gonna lift Ruckus up over
What?
by the keys.
Whoa, hey, whoa! Me stay here with this thing? Are you sure? As you set him down next to the keys.
Emma just looks back at Ruckus with the eyes aflame.
Yes, boss, absolutely. As it goes to try and pick the keys up off the side. Ashrin, you have because you asked Emma what to do, but what are you doing?
Well, didn't Emma already toss the keys to them? So, like, they already have...
Ruckus
She
has
tried to,
keys.
but she got stopped.
Yeah. Ruckus is
Got it.
currently holding the keys on the key rack.
Okay, great. I think we are only going to hurt ourselves if we stay here. So, look at Lucilla and get out of here.
That's the plan. Ruckus is staying to help them.
Okay, well, I go on the other side of Lucilla and I help her start walking out of here.
Okay. Both of you hold Lucilla by the
With-
shoulder. Okay.
Ritter's stuff on my back. Ritter's
okay.
bag and...
You grab the bow and the bag before going to help Lucilla walk with Emma out of here. Ton of voices are screaming for Ruckus to give them the keys first. We'll come back to that in a moment. Ordell and Winter. Oh, go ahead. Do you have something to add, Drew?
Yeah, but I don't think it would work. Because I don't have the spell ready. So never mind. I was going to say, can you cast Bless on familiar?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't have it ready, so it doesn't matter anymore.
No worries.
But
So,
next time.
Then no, you can't.
Winter and Ordell. Winter, you are currently being hoisted by a gargoyle. You're the only ones currently being lifted. Because chat seemed to love it so much when I did it. High or low, chat?
While they decide, can I see what I can see from up here?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a perception. Verity's like, no guilt on me. I said hi. No part of this.
17.
17. Okay. As you're more vertical or horizontal from the bridge at this point, but at this height you can still get a good vantage. With the 17, you see Ordell falling off of his gargoyle, an explosion in the air, Belch and Elijah sitting on the bridge. Elijah looking to you, Belch now thoroughly focused on trying to blow up Ordell's gargoyle. You look back and see the group of farmers seems to have split now, that there was a noise in this direction, half of them heading in your direction, half of them heading back towards the rest of the party. And with a 17, you also hear another heavy wing beat up above. And look up and see another gargoyle flying around the tower from the third pillar on the other side.
Are there any openings to the wind machine, like the weather machine, from what I can see? Even like small.
There is the front door. You can definitely do that. And then there is the bottom, which is open just like before, and then the top that has the plume of smoke. From this side, you don't see anything. Not to say you might not see something on the other side.
Okay. So there aren't any like cracks or like things.
Not with
that
your
something-
17 perception.
All right. Cool.
'Kay.
Can I do stuff at
Not
this
yet.
point? Or
It is
or
their
not
turn,
yet?
and I needed chat to do high or
Okay.
low, and I'm seeing high this time, which is good. 19, much better for you. So instead of dashing to fly 120 feet upwards, leaving you at 170 feet up, the gargoyle simply flies 60 feet upwards. But with its other part, it does make 2 attacks against you as it's carrying you. So,
Oh, kind.
so its bite is a 20 to hit, and its claw is a 16 to hit.
I'm gonna cast shield.
Okay. That would block the second one, correct?
Because
Because you have 13
I mean-
AC.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'll block the second one. So as soon as the first bite, as it floats and flies upwards, hits you, you instinctually coat the rest of your body in a magical protective field, dealing 5 damage to you as the stone bites into your shoulder. But the claw, as it tries to dig its hands further into you, your skin magically resists, not letting any further damage be dealt to you. But it's still going to start flying upwards while holding you. As we go to the other gargoyles, the one that's dropped you now screams angrily towards you, Ordell, and begins flying downwards. It'll kind of have to do its turn in conjunction with you, so we'll come back to that. However, looking upwards towards it, you see another one flying now towards Elijah and Belch, neither of which seem to notice.
Cool.
As we'll go to Ordell and Winter's turn. Ordell, you have the higher dex. Let's go with you.
4 more shots up at Winter's gargoyle.
Do it.
Ooh,
Oh, actually, distance from you now, it would be 120
I have my
feet.
gloves thing. My gloves hit exactly that.
Perfect. Anything past that will be out of your range.
Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. 18 plus numbers. That is so cruel. It did the 20 roll thing and then stopped. It's still a 14s plus numbers, but I was like, come on. That's cocked. Does a 15 hit?
Just barely.
Okay. Okay, so those all hit. That's nice. Did the thing, the one that got cocked, like looked like it was a 20, but I was also like, it could not be. And then yeah, the one that did it's a 20. Just kidding, it's a 14. I was like,
What was that?
I went.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Anyway.
That's-
Okay. 3, 4, and 5, 6. So that's 10, 11, 18 plus all 4 hits. So that's 4 and 4, which is 16. So, oh god, what is 16 plus 18? It is numbers.
34.
No. 34
Yes, 34.
radiant damages to the gargoyle.
Which is
Yep.
the sound Winter makes as suddenly the stone breaks above her. She goes, ah, and begins falling downwards.
With my movement, Ordell's gonna try and just move himself in the air so that like he can catch Winter, potentially. Yeah, if he can, because he'll use his slow fall thing to reduce her damage over him, because I'm assuming either Featherfall is not prepared, or if she hits the ground, she's going to take so much more damage than she can take.
I need to look something up for you real quick. Because you're already currently falling 50 feet down to the ground, and she's 120 feet up diagonally from you. How are you going to float towards her?
Did it take exactly all of my hits to kill Gargoyle Boy?
It did.
How?
Okay.
Sorry. How flustered is Ordell at the moment?
He is falling down, shooting things up towards you, trying to save you over himself.
Can I yell at him?
Sure.
Or not yet? I can levitate, you big dope.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. All right, well you do that. If you hear a loud crunch sound as I hit the ground, it's okay. I'm good.
If you're good, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just worried about you. I'm glad we can have this talk.
Are you gonna be okay?
I don't know. This gargoyle looks like he wants to kick my ass.
This is a very long 50 feet fall. So we'll pause y'all's conversation there because of 6 seconds round time. But falling 50 feet, you will take damage. Your monk will possibly be able to reduce a good lot of it, but you are going to take damage.
Yeah, my monk damage I reduce it by is like an absurd amount now. I'm just gonna check it while you're rolling damage.
It's 5 times your level.
Is it?
Yep, and so you take none, because that would have been 25 damage. But as you're falling, you quickly, kind of, much like XC, shoot out jets of flame downwards that kind of slow your descent. They don't stop your momentum, but you quickly push it downwards before falling to the ground. Now looking upwards, there is a big heavy stone boy, not only falling towards you, actively pushing himself down faster towards you to slam, seismic toss you, Charizard style, into the ground.
Nice.
So that's going to be... Okay. Let's have you do a con save to see if you can have this.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's actually not terrible as far as con saves go. 17?
Let's see here. Let's roll it.
Evil Ryan's over there like, not good enough.
Natty
I was
20.
gonna say I have an 18 AC if it means anything.
Natty 20. It's not going to double the damage, but you're not going to get it halved. So it has 50 feet to fall. That should be 4d10 falling damage, because you ignore that first 10, 4d10 falling damage, but it's also pushing itself with a full dash towards you. 120 feet of fly speed, so we'll half that, 60. So it's going to be 10d10 coming your way.
Somewhere Hercules is like, man, this feels really ironic. Also, apparently D&D Beyond tells me I can reduce fall by 40, which is wild.
Yeah, you should be able to. It's 5 times your level.
Yeah, I'm just like, holy.
Good.
I don't like that. I don't like that face.
As Ordell, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot you could do that. As you make the fire behind you, like, I could do this too. Oh, as suddenly this stone meteor of a gargoyle comes with the people's elbow just straight down.
Also, the way you said meteor, I was like, meteor?
Meteor.
Meteor.
I do see.
Calling for something, Rybo.
I do see Chad is calling for a GFY. I am. Let's see here. Okay. I think I am at 4 GFYs currently. If y'all want to use them, that's totally fine. We'll go down to 3, which will reduce it by half, which is pretty good. That's a good number to have reduced it down to. So you'll take 29 points of bludgeoning damage as the people's elbow
Jesus
slams into you. Not only are you bounced against the ground, dust and ash fly upwards in a plume of smoke. It is a solid hit. Actually, hold on. Technically, it could be halved. You rolled an 18. Still a 10% chance it's full damage. Nope, you're good. Just
Ryan's
gotta be
like,
fair.
No, wait.
Hold on. I can kill him. Let me kill him. Let me do it. So yeah, Elijah and Belch look towards you. Elijah instinctually, now that he can actually get in the fight, jumps off of the bridge to run down and get towards the gargoyle. He spends his movement. He's going to take the falling damage from that. Come on. Okay, the rest of them were better. So Elijah takes a solid bit of damage, but he rolls on the ground and brings his blade down twice into the gargoyle. So big hits, big boys coming. On his D10s, that was a 9 and a 10 plus smities. Okay. As the gargoyle slams against you, it brings its hands upwards, clutching them together to bring them down upon your chest and cave in your rib cage before you see a heavy bastard sword slam through the side of the gargoyle and come out and just chop the head of this thing off, slicing blade clean through stone. It does hurt, though, as the gargoyle's head falls upon you. It's a stone boulder, right? But you
I just
hear...
throw Elijah the horns and be like, fire boys!
He goes, firebolt, and grabs your hands to pick you up. You see Belch
I
like,
throw up
"Whoa!"
over his shoulder.
Belch raises his hands in victory. Winter, you must think that's nice as you're falling now. What are you doing?
There's also another gargoyle coming down, isn't there?
Winter, and you are aware of that.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast levitate.
On yourself?
How far am I falling?
So you would have 110 feet that you would fall down.
Okay, so I can fall for a while. I can do some other stuff.
It takes a full round to cast a spell, right?
Yeah. How many rounds would it take me? Like, how fast am I falling? How many rounds till I hit the ground?
110 feet,
60
you would
per round.
definitely fall that in one round. So at the end of that round, you're going to hit.
Nuts. All right, I'll cast levitate on myself then.
Okay.
I'll just get my parasol out and float.
You definitely got the old 9.8 meters per second working against you here.
I don't know math, man.
So are
I
you
think
trying
for
to
a
levitate
second, I'm
immediately from the top or levitate right before you hit the ground?
No, I'm gonna... How far away is this other gargoyle from me?
From you, it would be about 100 feet.
Like, is it? It's not coming near me, is it? It's coming
It
near the
seems
other
to be
people.
aimed towards Belch.
Okay. Oh, Belch. Oh, Belch will just blow it up. Yeah, I'm gonna cast it straight away and enjoy the view.
Okay, sounds good. As you begin
Can
to
I-
slowly fall downwards, you concentrate on levitate as you Mary Poppins, because you did say you have a parasol. You quickly
Mhm.
pull it out of your pack and float downwards, holding on with one hand. And Mary Poppins, y'all.
I don't want to float downwards at the moment.
Oh, you want to
I
stay
would
in the
like
same
to-
spot?
Yes.
Princess Peach it.
Perfect. Yeah, just holding up on that Smash Bros. As that's all y'all are gonna do because Belch doesn't know another threat is there. He is just celebrating at the moment. So
Can I just point as a free action to be like, guy?
not with all of the conversation you've already had.
That's fair.
And fighting.
That's fair.
And that pizza.
XC.
Pizza.
Yes.
Let's have a time. Your turn again.
Alrighty. So it's in melee range right now, isn't it?
Correct.
All right. I think the only option of all right, I am going to disengage.
Okay. So you, as this thing reaches outwards to grab your arm, much like it did for Emma, you basically, oh no, and duck out the side to be able to run away. What else you got?
And I will then move 40 in an angle so that I'm trying to run away from the door, but not at an angle anymore, so that I end up in front of the door, if that makes sense.
So you want to basically
I'll be
go
like-
around him? Well, I
But
guess you
I'll-
can go right
but
through
then
him.
it-
You're disengaged.
Yeah, but like at an angle, so I'll be about 30 foot away from the door.
Okay, so you're, because you could run right through him to the door and get inside there if you wanted, because
I
you're
can't run right through him.
disengaged.
I can't move
Oh, that's
towards-
right. Shit, you're totally right.
Yeah.
So from where you're at, yeah, you're basically going to move almost directly outward from the door. If the
Yeah,
barn is
but
north,
instead of continuing towards the windmills, I'm going to sort of head this way so that
Okay.
anyone coming out the door easily spots me.
sounds good. Then yeah, you'll move your full movement speed, so that'd be 40 feet away from the barn at this point. It tries to grasp at you, but you dodge out of the way. You're too afraid of what this thing would do to you if it grasps you. I think that's it, right?
I believe so. I can't. Well, actually, a bonus action. Yeah, I will. I will match. So, as a bonus action, I'm going to bring my right hand over to the hopper where my bullets lie. I'm going to start pushing some levers, and you hear a whirl come into place, followed by clunk, 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 and I've now magic stoned some more bullets.
Perfect.
With the bonus action to magic stone.
At the end of your turn, you run away from it. You see its arms reach out as it wails once more. You see one person getting dragged and pulled from that farmers group. They're getting close now. It's going to be not very long before they're going to be on you as well. But you only see one person being dragged away as you turn towards him. He does have both hands up. Roll me a dex save once, and then we'll see what that is.
15.
15. Just miss it. So one of the farmers again, he slams his hoe into the ground to try and hold himself there, but is pulled out by this ghostly force and is flung towards you. And as you're running away, his heavy body slams into your metal, his elbow and knee clocking you right on the side of the head, dealing 19 bludgeoning damage to you.
Jesus.
I need another dex save at disadvantage. This man, as he hits you, your metal body is not a soft thing, and you can see the bone of his elbow protrude outwards in the wrong direction, and him roll lifeless along the ground.
I will use my last inspo.
That's a good call.
That's better. So at disadvantage, so 18. Deck is 21.
21, you said?
21.
Okay, perfect. Then yes, you hear before you see a loud, deep woman's voice. You see this Goliath female being flung towards you off from the eastern side in an almost lobbed-like manner. You only were able to dodge as you hear her crying out not to be thrown this way, as you quickly duck and roll on the ground as she splatters, much like a trebuchet shot into the ground, pieces flying in all manner of direction as you quickly crawl backwards away from this thing. It spends its turn. You still have your vision up. You can see it fade from normal view, but you still have the ability to see it as it moves and approaches and gets within melee range of you. Emma, Ashrin, two of you are walking with Lucilla out, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we left the barn yet, but we were on our way out.
Yeah, you're right outside. So the plan is to walk and just get Lucilla out of there, let Raucus get the keys, and leave, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you're doing?
I mean, I kind of wanted to go, I'm assuming, so if the front of the barn is here, he's on top. Are the people coming from over here?
You don't know. You're not outside. You don't even know that there's... well, you know the original group is running from the west side. If you're north, they're running from the west.
Okay, I kind of... Well, I kind of want to go, behind the barn, kind of break line of sight.
Hi, Raid.
Right.
You trying to go back around it?
Lucilla, I know you're not feeling great. How...
I can stand. She looks over and sees a shovel, and she kind of pushes you off and grabs a shovel and begins limping outwards before she takes the shovel and slams on it with her foot to cut the actual end of the shovel off, leaving just a hard wooden staff.
As she goes to limp, Emma extends her hand out and puts it on her shoulder and does the last second level cure wounds on her, and as she's doing it, she says, "We need as much help as we can get."
Okay. Let's see how much you heal for.
Okay, the first one was an 8.
Solid.
And the second one was a 7, so 21.
21. So I think it was 21 and 23 so far for her, so 44 hit points on Lucilla. Right. I'm assuming y'all are doing this as you're leaving the barn?
Yeah.
Okay. Ashrin, what are you doing during this time of leaving?
I'm just helping Lucilla walk
Okay.
on the other end.
She grabs the staff and runs with you. As the two of you exit the barn, you see about 60 feet away from you, running towards your friend now out in the fire fields. You see a group of, I think it's, you've killed 4, shot 1, shot another, or killed 4, shot 1, so 5. 2 are flung towards you.
3.
Yeah, so that is 8. So there's 4 farmers still running towards XC, who is laying on the ground running away. XC seems to be afraid of something, pushing as fast as he can away from the barn. You've never seen XC move quite so frantically, but you do not see the ghost that XC sees.
But we had heard it.
Yeah, you definitely heard something out there, much like what you heard on the inside. Emma,
XC, do you got a ghost too?
Emma, as a familiar, y'all chose to do 3 encounters at once. Don't yell at me. As you're familiar, you can sense and see and hear things whenever they're within 100 feet of you. Raucus holds up the keys and hops off the side and goes to hand it to one of the men nearby to grab the keys off. As the guy reaches against his collar out to Raucus, who runs towards him, Raucus's vision, seeing through their eyes, is suddenly lifted upwards and off of the ground before an almost icy crystal begins to form over its eyes, and you lose that connection to Raucus.
Then I would use, I guess, the rest of my turn to march right back in.
Okay, so we already used your turn to come out, and you did your magic, right? So you still have a bonus action, I'd say, and an inspo to Brie for Max, because he's a guru.
Wake up, little one.
Would you say wake up, little one?
Yeah.
Of course.
Ooh, how far out are we?
From where? out of the barn.
From where Ruckus was.
You're maybe about 30. About 30 feet from where he is, because there's that partition in between.
Cool.
Nightheart.
Bonus.
Welcome, Raiders.
Bonus action. My big boy is going 30 feet back in.
Perfect.
And as soon if it's in his range, you gonna take a swipe.
Absolutely. So you're not going to be able to see what's
Nope.
happening, but you tell the ancestral guardian to get his ass in there. The spiritual weapon, unfortunately, you do need to be able to see to be able to control.
Yeah.
However, if you want it to swing wildly, you can.
No, I'm not trying to kill random
Okay,
people.
that's what I figured. So yeah, you send the big boy back in, your ancestral guardian, into the barn. He ducks underneath the doorway, and you see him run in before you hear what sounds like the sounds of battle inside of there. Give me 1 second. Okay. Perfect.
He only has 20 left, so just to throw that out there before he disappears.
You feel your connection to your guardian vanish. It definitely
Sweet.
hit home that time. Your spiritual beings, your little Rakasasai, are still in there with their scythe, but not really able to do much. You can try and start pulling it out if you'd like. But Ashrin,
Yeah.
you see Emma suddenly stop and look towards the barn before commanding the guardian to go in.
Emma, share with the class maybe what's happening.
You still have your action and bonus, Ashrin, if you wanted to dash or do anything. You just have moved out here.
So Emma's still here, but she told her guardian to move in, right?
Correct.
And XC is how far from us? 60 feet?
From there, it'd be about 40 feet.
40?
Because that's how far XC moves.
I would have been
Got
a little
it.
bit less because it's an angle, but yeah.
We'll say 40.
Oh,
40 sounds.
I would probably run to XC to make sure he's okay.
Okay. Ashrin, you run over to XC. You've got your action, so you can dash to get within 10 feet of XC, because you only move 30, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're 10 feet away from XC as you see XC looking off in your direction, moving scurriedly afraid away from you and the barn. You still have your bonus action, though.
I'm just gonna XC, are you okay?
Ethereal being right in front of me.
Ashrin, XC basically points the gun at you, though a little upwards.
And that's it.
Yeah.
From all
Right.
you do. Yeah.
Let's go back to the
We're
bridge.
not as verbose as the other two.
Oh my
Good guy girls.
To the bridge team. Since we're starting with the baddies first, you killed the two other gargoyles. As you see Belch like, we got them, it's going to be all good. As Belch is lifted off of the bridge by the gargoyle on the side. Ortel, you and Elijah, as he helps you up to your feet, now look at Belch, who has been lifted up, what would be 20 feet off of the bridge, and Winter slowly levitating up above as Belch is being carried away by this gargoyle-like being. Belch, normally, just as a person, is never looking too hot, but he's definitely not looking too hot right now.
How what direction is Belch traveling?
Be like south and up. He basically came right inwards and up. So from you, he'd be about 70 feet, Winter. Actually, he'd be 70 feet from everybody, just different. He's like right in between the angle that would be from you towards Ordell and Elijah.
Mm-hmm. So he's not that gargoyle isn't coming towards me. It's going like
Yeah, it just picked
70
him up.
feet
Yeah,
that way.
it's now headed upwards.
Dear.
Magic punch! It's basically Ordell's gonna just start running and gunning.
Okay, go for it.
Very unique set of moves. I don't think I'm gonna burn a key this time because now I think we can all kind of hit this one. Unnatural 20, 17, and 22. I'm assuming those all hit.
Yes, they do.
Then let's get some damage. Where's my D6? I thought I left it out, but I did not. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I used my iPad to write them all down. Ooh. Okay. Oh, 2 6s. So it's 6, 6, 4, 16, and then 12. So that's 28 of that radiant damage, hitting Gargamel.
Gargamel. As the gargoyle picks him up, you shoot 4 blasts of radiant energy into the side of the gargoyle. Luckily, yours is radiant and not fire, knowing who he's carrying.
Yep. Yeah, movement-wise, Ordell's just gonna try and get as close as possible, just to try and catch Sweet Boy if he does fall.
Okay, you can start going towards the base of the bridge. You'd use your full movement to get towards the bottom of the bridge, but then you can start running upwards, and that'll get you higher.
Yep, that's
Cool.
what I'll do.
Elijah is going to dash and get basically the same because there's nothing he can do at a range. So, Winter, what are you doing?
I'm gonna move down 20 feet. Because I'm the one levitating, it takes my movement, not an action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna cast I'm gonna cast a Brie scorching ray
Good.
at this gargoyle.
Yep, go ahead and roll 3 attacks.
Make it a different element, because Buddy's got powder. Or don't, it's fine.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I can change my damage type.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a 13. I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
15 is the number to beat.
Okay, 2.
2 hits?
2 hit.
Perfect.
Correct.
46. What type of damage are we doing?
Let's just go radiant again because we've seen that works.
Hey, it works.
Coolio. That was a 2nd level, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. 12
Okay.
on the first one
Beautiful.
and 7 on the second.
Perfect. As you're floating downwards, holding one hand on the parasol, you create a green flame in the other hand before it lights up, more brilliant than any regular flame could as you shoot it 3 times, blasts of energy into the side of this gargoyle. Between you and Ordell, you've poked quite a many holes into the stone wings of this creature. Hopefully it does not get away.
Elijah's not attacking. Could I, as a free action, give him my javelins? Because I still have 4 from when I was big.
I would say no, just because that's trading the whole thing. But you can always give him one in the future. But that's okay, because as you fire into the gargoyle, you all hear as he holds up a stick of dynamite. He says, "I got it." You see an explosion in the air right on this gargoyle-like creature.
My baby boy.
Goodbye, gargoyle.
Someone needs to catch him.
Stone goes
working on it.
flying all over. As not only does stone go flying, you begin to see a smoldering rat-like creature fly upwards before being affected by gravity and now flying downwards.
Any
Definitely
closer
seems to be dying. He probably gets another 30 feet of air, I would say. So he's about 40 feet away from you.
Okay.
But yeah, Belch is currently falling. Doesn't appear to have much consciousness left in him.
Not my baby boy.
We'll come
He
back
can't
to
die
that.
twice. He's already died from that explosion.
He's already dead. Stop.
XC, it is your turn. Yeah, we've been having you go first on this one. So you see the ghostly figure now in melee range. Ashrin, actually 5 feet away from it, though unknowingly. So as the crowd now on both sides begins running closer towards all of you, what are you doing?
So, it's currently in the same phase as when I first shot at it, right?
Correct.
All right. So I'm pretty pretty spot on that I'm not going to be able to shoot through it again. So instead, you said there's 4 guys still running at me, right?
Yep. On the
Alright.
west side, there's a lot of guys now that you see running at you from the east side.
Amazing. How far away are they?
They're about 200 feet away from you. There's 24 of them still left alive.
And the 4 away aren't.
They're
nearly as
60
far.
feet away from you. They're
Right,
still
I'll
alive.
shoot 2 of those, hopefully.
Do it.
All right. First hit is 17. And
Like it.
second hit is 19.
Let's see. Yep. Definitely hit.
Damages. Oof. 12, 22, and 14.
Okay. As you turn looking towards them, you still have to use your full movement speed to get away from this thing. So as you, because you're frightened of it. But I actually do need, and I forgot to do it last time. So at the end of your turn, go ahead and roll me another charisma save to see if you did break out of it.
+2.
Also, I believe frightened only means I can't move towards it. I don't have to run away.
I'm looking at the specific thing. Let me check.
Oh, okay. Frightened creatures disadvantage with checks.
You are on the frightened effect, but there's a secondary thing to this.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm rolling charisma save, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a good save with +2. That is a 17.
17. Yeah. So as the end of your turn last time, you see this thing towards you. Seeing your friends now come out here, ready to fight this thing, it steals your heart. You're not going to let this thing make you not help your friends. Your directive is to protect Ashrin and Emma, and they are here now. As you break through the frightened effect.
In that case, I will stand my ground, my hands off to the side, bang, bang. And then, as my movement action, I'm not going to move. I'm going to stand right next to this thing, ready to take it off.
You stand up, and as you're looking towards it, very Terminator, not even looking, just to the side, into the farmers that are running in your direction, almost staring this thing down, now having someone to protect. You fire as 2 of the farmers run towards you. One of them, you immediately blow the left leg off of her. She immediately falls to the ground, bleeding out. The other one, you hit dead center right on the heart as it just falls down, dying. They don't have much health and are not exactly used for that anyway. Roll me a perception.
Do I have any info left? I think I've got none left. Nope. That's a 1 plus numbers.
You are
so-
very focused on your friends and this ghost in front of you. As all else seems kind of secondary. As it's going to go to its turn. Let's see. So you chose not to move, correct?
Correct.
You've been firing at it the most. Ashrin, you kind of run up like, what are you talking about? Before another figure, just like the one you saw before, appears in front of you and reaches out towards XC. Your AC, XC, 17,
It's seven-
correct? Okay. It reaches out and grasps your hand. I need a con save.
At least my con's good. That's a dice off the table. I got turn this on. I gotta remember it. 17 plus 5 is 22.
22. You feel cold run through your circuits. It's not a sensation you're very familiar with, but you can tell it's going to start speeding up your processor before it pulls its hand away, seeming to be ineffective towards you. There's nothing really for it to pull before it reaches its hands up once again, and the remaining 2 farmers that are running your direction reach their hands into the ground, but he swipes it forward, sending both of them hurtling off in your direction. I need 2 dex saves from you.
2 dex saves.
New liquid cooling Wraith fan. Alienware pays hard for ghosts.
That's 11 and 12.
Ain't that a beaut?
Hi, Ashford. Boom, boom.
Ashton, you're like, what ghost? As this one appears from you, and you're like, oh, that one is suddenly, no! Two of the farmers fly towards you. XC, you are slammed into the side by one of them, completely knocking you on your side. It kind of buckles your leg as it slams into you. The farmer, from the sharpness of your metal, is actually cut in half as it slams into you, which does, the first one was 15 damage. Are you still up?
I'm still up.
Okay, then the second one does 17 damage to you. Still up?
Gritting my lack of teeth.
Are you down?
I'm not down yet.
Oh, not down yet. Okay, so both slam into you as now you see the ghost reach its hands downwards, and you can begin to hear cries coming off from the east where the other farmers are running.
Oh, good. More ammunition.
Ashrin, Emma, Lucilla. Let's start with Ashrin. What are you doing?
So, like, I'm going towards XC and it appears right in front of me? the
Yeah, right in
ghost?
front of you. You have to, like, slide yourself to stop in front of it.
Does it know I'm behind it?
You don't know. It's currently pretty focused on XC.
Alright. I'm okay. I'm gonna extend my hand out. And can I grasp anything?
You trying to grab the creature?
It's a touch spell, that's all I'm wondering.
Yes, you definitely can.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level.
Ooh, that's a to hit or a save for me.
That is to hit.
Okay, then roll it at advantage because it is not aware that you were there.
Wee woo. Okay.
Stab it in the ghost butt.
Stab it in the ghost butt. That's what we ghost hunters do when we go investigating. Is stab it in the ghost butt.
17
I try with a 17.
does not hit. As you reach outwards towards the creature, hold on. Let me check its intelligence stat. You're doing inflict wounds, correct?
Yes.
1 second. I hate to do this to you, chat. High or low?
Yeah.
No. You know they're gonna stop just responding.
If you don't respond, I'm gonna pick the worst version. This is a chance for you to not have the bad thing happen.
Immediately, all the replies start coming in.
It's like it's the quick time event, right? You say high or low, and then immediately, if chat doesn't respond to the quick time event, it's the Spider-Man flops on his stomach. I'm gonna die.
Exactly. Hi, low, hi. I see an even amount, so the next one I see will count. Hi, there we go. Let's go high.
It's all of the creators.
It got 17, so it is smart, but it didn't see you, so it didn't have time to react and let you hit it with necrotic damage. So as you slice your hand through it, you can see it moves and floats upwards, just narrowly ducking out of the way from you grasping it. It now sees you directly below it and wails outwards angrily. But yeah, so good. Good thing that it didn't hit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's like a
Emma, your go.
Oi, fuck face. And guiding bolt.
Good call. Go for it.
What did I do to you?
Not you.
That's good.
Ooh. So with a +8 to hit, that's gonna be a 25.
Does hit.
Okay. Okay, 6, 6, 4, and 5. So 12, 16, or 12, 12, 16, so 21 radiant damage. And it's now lit up.
As
And then I'm gonna have my spiritual weapon come up and be all like, "Ah!"
so your spiritual weapon can only move 20 feet per round. So since we didn't know the last time, it's just going to move towards the edge of the barn. It is now at the entrance of the barn.
Okay.
Right. Anything else you've got? You staying at the barn?
No, I'm gonna bum rush this ghost.
Okay. You run towards it about 30 feet. So you're right next to Ashrin. Are you wanting to get in melee with it?
Yeah.
Okay. You are in melee with it with Ashrin. As you run up, so does Lucilla with her makeshift quarterstaff. As she runs towards it, you see her make a heavy leap off the ground and begin to bring the staff downwards onto the ghostly figure. The staff flies downwards, but seems to go directly through the thing, being that it is not a magical weapon. It's nothing it can do there. Before she sees that and kind of angrily, she uses the staff to kind of do the whirlwind kick upwards against it, but her foot does seem to connect against it, as long as she, yes, definitely connects.
Magic feet.
Which means she does herself a flurry of blows against it. As the foot kicks up, she does the bicycle kick and like runs up against the ghost, hitting it solidly for... oh, actually, that first one was advantage. Let me just see if I crit. Nope, 19, close. As the glowing purple being suddenly fades as Lucilla kicks against it, it reaches out and cries in pain, but it is still up. Yeah, I think that's all that group can do currently, correct? Perfect.
Yep.
Let's go to the cloud-making team. Winter, you are 110 feet up in the air. You see 40 feet away from you at the apex of its trajectory, Belch, smoking and now flying downwards. Ordell, you see this as well, as does Elijah. What are we doing?
That's a good question. You know, I ask myself that every single day. What am I doing? Ordell's going to try and rocket jump himself like he did before, doing run, shoot downwards, and another key point to see if I can intercept Buddy in the air.
Winter, what are you doing during it this time, since we're saying it kind of all happens at once?
Can I try and like, I can only move up and down. I can't get across to him. I just can't.
Not in 20 feet, no.
What am I doing while this happens? Fucking hell. I mean,
So
sorry.
Parasol just
Freaking heck.
God! I'm just gonna yell like, Odell, you got this. You got
Get
this.
him! Save him!
I'm trying!
I want to move closer to the
door?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, closer to the cloud machine.
You trying to get to the door or trying to go like around it or?
How far away am I from it?
You're
just
about
the actual
100 feet away from the actual door itself as the like ramp slides upwards.
Okay. How tall is it?
It's the bottom of the machine is 100 feet off the ground. The door itself is about 150 feet off the ground. The whole structure in itself sits at about 400 feet tall.
Okay, so is there any part of it that is like next to me where I am?
You're closer to the one of the structures that would hold the gargoyle and that would actually hold the thing up than you are the actual tower itself.
Okay. Can I move up and angle myself?
Where are you trying to go?
Closer to the structure
Okay.
or the door.
Yeah, you want to
Just
try and get
whatever
higher?
object is closest to me.
Okay, roll me a perception real quick.
1. No,
Good.
I rolled a 1, but 6.
A 1. As you begin floating upwards, your focus is entirely on Belch and hoping that Ordell can save him. This heroic leap, you're hoping that he lands. Ordell, you are already at the base, and he was, only 50 feet up it and is now in the air and falling downwards. You could definitely try and grab him out of the sky and kind of do the tuck and roll grab with him, as you would be able to slow fall yourself, therefore preventing his damage, if that's what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
Acrobatics.
Okay.
I think it would be a dex
okay at
save
those.
since you're saving him.
I'll do both of the same. I'm gonna use these pretty blue ones. 15 plus 7. 22.
You want to know how much Belch rolls?
None.
None. He's unconscious. As
Yeah.
Ordell.
Fair enough.
20 is
But
what you
not
need.
yet, right?
Ordell, as you rush upward, you see the little rat falling downwards. Elijah pushes you up the ramp to give you kind of a boost to run as fast as you can. And as you do so, you jump, do the Iron Man push off of fire out of your feet and of your hands to accelerate yourself forward to grab Belch. You see him falling, just about to hit the metal part of the bridge, that metal and stone of the bridge, before you just grasp him and do the 20 feet worth of rolling forwards up this bridged hill, preventing him from taking any falling damage. As you look down,
Rybo.
Yeah.
Do we rolled for this? I know last time, but I don't know if I made the roll or not. Do we know that he has a death ward on him? Like, do we understand the mechanics of that spell? I think we rolled for it. And
you
knew there was a spell.
understand death ward. You do not know or understand that Belch uses a death ward.
Okay.
You kind of actually, since you saw the thing earlier today with the glowing, roll me another Arcana, or actually a history for this one, since you're kind of connecting the two together.
I rolled a 2, so it's 10 either way.
He with the glowy boy earlier, and you're not sure why, but it was pretty. As
what is magic?
Yeah, as Ordell, you roll with Belch in your hand, and your heart sinks. You smell the singed flesh and the burning hair on him. You actually have to pat part of it dry, and get the fire off of him. But Belch is no more for this world. The explosion rocked him. There's not much that you could have done. You saved his body from being mangled, but sadly, he's like,
I knew it.
Did I get them? I get them?
You turned off your camera and we're like, wait, what?
Oh wait, I did. Perfect for Discord. They didn't say anything.
For us. Just for us.
Good. As he looks up towards you and says, "Did I get him? Is he dead?"
No, I'm sorry. You're dead, Belch.
I know I was, but did he die too? I found the good one, the good stick.
Yes, he's dead. And that was awesome, but
Yes.
I can't talk to you about how cool that was. We need to blow this place up, I guess.
He grasps his amulet and says, "Good, good." As he kisses it, he touches his head one more time. Roll me a perception. Actually, with your passive, you notice, being this close to him, his head turns gold as a small golden dragon outlines on his the top of his mangled, burned, scarred head. Before he says, "Good, let's blow up the maker."
Yep. You're weirdly okay with this, but honestly, don't have time to unpack that. And I just give him a high five and we start going up.
Elijah says, "Is he okay? I thought for sure he'd die."
Yeah, he did. It was awesome.
I did.
And I just pat Elijah on the shoulder.
A big boom. Of course I die. All right.
Are you okay? Like, I know you're not dead.
Winter,
but
you're like,
surely you
"Are you sure you're okay?" As you're floating upwards towards the.
Are we in turn order at this point?
Not currently. You're just talking to him briefly as a result of what happened.
I just want to know if I can start coming down.
Yeah. Are you wanting to try and go towards the bridge now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does he need a health? Does he need some, like an orange juice or something?
I've never been better. I'm totally fine. I'll be good. But that's, as he points downwards, you see about 25 of those farmers that you saw before. They're maybe about 100 feet away from the base of this bridge, of which you are halfway up, about 75 feet. All of them with torches, pitchforks, some small machetes, hoes, sharp farming instruments as they are running in your direction. Roll a perception, Winter, Ordell, Elijah, and Belch. 16?
9.
Winter,
2 plus
16?
7.
Cool. As Belch says, but that's, as he looks downwards, Ordell, you're like, "Oh shit," before Winter and Elijah, you look upwards, as both of you kind of look at each other for a second and say, Or that, as you point upwards, a silhouetted figure stands in the doorway of the Cloudmaker before, very familiar to you, you see him pull a lever inside of the Cloudmaker before a door slams shut at the top of the bridge. You also begin to see the magical bridge, 5 foot by 5 foot section, begin to fold its way upwards down from the top, leaving you to run out of bridge here very soon, as it is essentially collapsing, though magically it holds itself upwards, leaving you away from the door of this maker. But we'll come back to that. XC. You now see the ghost in front of you, Ashrin, Emma, and Lucilla fighting it off, and the crowd of others headed in your direction. Since you are faced towards that ghost, roll me one more perception check.
All right. 15 plus 7, 22.
22. You think for a moment you see a weak point in this white spectral figure, almost like an organ itself might have made itself visible that you could fire at to finally finish this thing off, before you recognize the glowing white portion of it is not this ghostly figure, but the one that has emerged behind it, moving through the doors of the barn. You can see that it is currently ethereal.
Wonderful. I will 5 foot step to my left, so that directly behind the creature, if I'm facing it, is not Ashrin. And so then my arm's going to come around and fire twice, kind of sideways. So basically, I want to shoot through it, but I don't want to hit Ashrin behind it.
Gotcha.
Like this.
As you kind of run to the side, you do a quick army roll down to the ground and fire upwards twice, as you do have 3 friends now directly behind it, not wanting to hit any of the 3 of them. In midst your roll, you fire off 2 shots before getting back on one knee and standing up. So yeah, go ahead and roll twice to hit.
Right now, we'd love a critical, but it's not going to happen. So a 20 and a 19.
20 and a 19. The 20 hits.
Oh, by the way, they're both magical as well.
Yeah, I remember the magic stone.
Yeah. 21 magical damages.
21. Okay, as one of the rolls flies downwards, you shoot upwards. Headshots typically work on most things. As you shoot through this thing's jaw, you see a big explosion of ectoplasm out of its head before it kind of reforms itself. It is barely opaque in the material world, but still kicking.
As my bonus action for the turn, and again, lean back over, and magic stone again.
Perfect. It stays there within
melee. Hold my
melee.
ground still as well.
It is going to spend its turn. It hasn't seen Ashrin, Emma, or Lucilla yet. As it turns, you've done quite a whopping on it. It makes the same face that the other one did. Its giant jaw stretches down to its navel. I need charisma saving throws from the 3 of you.
+2 to everybody within 10 feet.
Ooh, that matters.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I rolled a 9, but take away 8 of that. I rolled a 1.
Ah, good.
7.
7? Well, actually, you don't have to. You've seen this ghost before, so you're resistant to it. 1 for Emma. Ashrin?
28.
20. Lucilla would have gotten a 15, but with your +2, that leads 17. The DC is 16. Emma, you see this creature, and knowing what it did to Raucus, knowing what it keeps doing to the others, you hope to just get away from it. Perhaps if you leave here, it will save you and your friends. It is terrifying to you, as you were frightened from it. And it's basically the fear effect where you have to run away, except you don't have to use your action to dash. You just have to use your movement to run away from it. And with
if I run from fear, does the other one get an opportunity attack?
it's not next to you, it's just at the front of the barn, so it's 30 feet away from you guys at the moment.
No, I
Come on.
mean,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
yeah,
the-
I'm in melee with
yes,
the other
with
one.
it.
So if I go to move from fear, can it get an opportunity attack, or
yeah,
do
it's
I
going
not
to get an
move
attack of opportunity.
because I know I'm gonna get hurt if I run?
You have to move. It's like the fear effect. Yeah, you have to run away from it. You just don't have to use your action to dash. It's like a
Okey-dokey.
lesser fear. Right. So
Off, by the way.
what's up?
The Choracle question has come up.
I saw. So, is Ritter currently alive and breathing? Is the Choracle question from Verity. Yes, is the answer.
Sweet, good to know.
Yeah, alive and breathing. As this ghostly figure kind of sees the writing on the wall, for lack of a better term, and begins to disappear into the ethereal realm. Ashrin, Emma, and Lucilla can no longer see this creature before them. As you're attacking it, it suddenly vanishes. Before XC, you still see where it's at, but it does not move from this location.
As a free action, can I let them know that it's still in the same location?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. It has gone ethereal, but it's still in the same location.
Perfect. The other ghost's turn comes as suddenly, XC, you see it appear in the realm of the living, and it looks over to the side, seeing ammunition of which to throw, and like a trebuchet begins flinging them upwards and in an angle towards all of you. There's 4 of you. XC, pick a number. Ashrin, a number. Emma, a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3.
Or
4. 2. Okay. Cool. Dex save from Ashrin and XC, please.
+2.
Yeah, +2 is amazing.
Dex, you say?
21.
Yes, ma'am. 21.
16.
Ooh, you just beat it. As the 2 flying farmers fly towards you, this time a dwarf couple, it looks like. The man and the woman hold hands as they're flung outwards, holding in their last moments as both of them fly and slam downwards where Ashrin and XC are. Both of you barely able to dodge out of the way. You see them impact before rolling along the ground, arms and legs broken in place. This ghostly figure wails outwards. Now that it can see XC, I do need a charisma save against this one. The others are immune to this one.
+2.
Oh my god. That's a 9.
Okay. Once again, seeing this one, now thinking you only had to deal with one, but the second one strikes fear in your heart. You are going to need to have the same effect. Run away from this thing. This is not where you want to be. Right. Ashrin, Emma, and Lucilla, you hear the ghastly wail from the ghost that you fought before coming outside of the barn, but no longer see the one next to you. Ashrin, you're first.
Well, I gotta move.
XC. Is XC still on the ground?
You're all right next to each other. He's not prone. That was more flavor than anything. Yeah.
Got it.
He's 10 feet away from you. He's the only one not 5 feet away.
Still. Okay. I just looked to everybody. Okay. Can we go, please? And then I start going like behind the barn, using the barn as cover.
Are you going to try and run towards the barn?
I have
Yeah.
Cool.
Still in front, right?
Do what now?
I have told Ashrin that the ghost is still in front of us, right?
Yeah. Did mention that. I don't know if you heard that part.
Right. So we should just leave it here.
We should leave it as Ashrin runs. You're going to run a little bit towards the ghost that you originally were fighting against in the barn. But if you want to dash, you could get away from both of them and try and go around the backside of the barn.
Okay. Is Emma also following, or is she? What is Emma doing?
Up to you. It's on your turn. What are you doing?
I am telling everyone, let's hide. Let's
Okay.
leave. Let's go.
You're going to run and go around the barn. Emma, what are you doing?
Did she just run like towards
fucking run off.
the ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Emma starts running the opposite way.
Let's split it more. Yes. So Ashrin
Well,
dashes.
because she can't run towards that ghost. She
Uh,
has to run away from it.
No, you can run towards the barn ghost. So you can follow Ashrin. 'Cause that's
so
away from the ghost
it
that's
was
right
the
next
one that
to
was
you.
in front of us.
Yeah.
That's the one I have to run away from. Okay.
Yep. And since Exy
Sorry.
said it's right there, you're like, that's where I don't want to be. It's you.
Sorry. I thought it was
Bye.
the other way around.
Quick high five and out in 10.
How far away is the barn ghost?
30 feet from you.
Sacred flame.
Okay. It's also right
And
next
then
to your
I'm
spiritual
also gonna
weapon.
have the spiritual weapon. Whack.
Cool.
So dex save.
Fails it. Rolled a 2.
It actually rolled a 2. It failed. Nothing ever failed.
Oh,
Okay, so
goodness.
6, so 11, and hold on. Sorry, so 17
Radiant.
radiant damage
Perfect.
with that good old sacred flame.
As it
And
moves out of the
then-
barn, you quickly create a gust of green radiant energy below it. It's fighting to keep its corporeal form as your weapon. What's the
It's
hit?
+8. So 22.
20 hits. Yep.
All right. And ooh, okay, 11 more force damage.
11, huh?
Well, yeah, +5.
That's exactly what you need. As some of Raucus's old friends and brothers pull the scythe back with a greater determination, you see the three of them as the scythe kind of moves between the mortal and the ethereal realm with its force damage, as the scythe twirls like a blade, and more than cutting this thing, it almost dissipates it like a wind as they slice into this thing before the ghost wails outward, reaching its hand upward and vanishing into nothing. You see a pool of white, ghostly, glowing liquid on the ground.
And now I spend my movement running far away from this other one behind me involuntarily.
Exy, your fear is broken, which is nice. Lucilla sees you two running off towards the barn, sees the now, what would be 22 farmers running in the direction. Lucilla stands there and shouts towards the ethereal ghost that you said is still there, and just yells, "Come out and fight me! I'm done with this!" before trying to intimidate it into fighting her.
Don't you die. I spent good spell slots on you.
If you were that ghost, you'd be scared. That was a pretty hellish roar from someone who was kept in captivity from these things and afraid for her life, now wanting revenge. Emma, you feel that when you think about your pouch and Rook and all the other rangers there. But that's it for y'all's turn. Let's go back to the bridge folk. Ordell and Winter. You now see 5 feet of the bridge has collapsed upwards towards the actual machine itself as you all stand halfway up, 75 up the bridge, and 25 farmers, about 175 feet away, running towards the bottom of the bridge.
Man.
How far away are the farmers?
175 feet from you currently.
Okay.
I don't even... Is there anything like we can see that would be another way to open the door or unfold the bridge, or are we just kind of hooped?
You want to roll a perception?
Yeah.
Or let's do investigation on this one.
Oh, man. I was excited about that. I was like, perception, man, I have +7 on that. Investigation, not +7. I mean, 15?
15. You do a quick glance up on this side of the tower and don't see anything useful, but there's another 180 degrees of the tower. Maybe there's something on the other side.
man. Ordell just shouts up, "Find a way in and get the bridge working. I'm gonna bottleneck things," and Ordell's gonna run towards the farmers.
Do you want me to blow them up?
If that would help.
That's my job.
They just need to get a little closer, that's all.
Well, I'll make sure
I'm
they
gonna
don't
cast a
move.
message. I'm gonna cast a message so that we stop yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Message
this
will
would
be
be
your
easier.
bonus action.
Oh, right. We're in order. Yeah. I won't cast message. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll just continue yelling.
So Ordell, you're gonna run towards them. We'll
Yeah,
start with
movement,
you
I'm
and
gonna
then go
move
Winter
to a
and then the others.
Yeah, I'm gonna basically like stop like on the bridge a little farther of my movement, and then I'm just gonna hold all actions to just start like punching through people so they don't keep going.
Oh, look at a little.
Actually, I'm gonna
inspo
take
over
dodge
there.
action, bonus action punches.
Okay, dodge action, bonus action punches. Oh, look,
Yep.
look at little Valentino.
Save Daddy with an inspo.
You get your inspo. Yeah, Ordell, as you run down there, you're running but not trying to dash. You're not trying to get there too fast as you kind of jog downwards and kind of do the boxer thing, like duck and weave at any moment if needed, before you quickly kind of toss bolts of radiant light towards them. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. That's 16 plus numbers and 16 actually total.
So I think you can only do one bonus attack, if I'm correct, because you don't
Oh, I was
flurry of
gonna-
blows without.
I was
hitting
gonna
something.
sorry. I was gonna use key to do my dodge thing, and then just my normal multi attack. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because now I'm finally
of
at my
those
normal
hit.
8 key, so set cool. Because this ring is really good.
It do be a good.
Oh, those are 2 6s. So that's 10 radiant damage from both of those.
Perfect. As some of the farmers get running towards you, you move your full movement, which is 55, correct?
Yep.
Putting them at 120, which I think is your range as you kind of
Exactly.
get
Yeah.
on one knee and shoot 2 jets of flame outwards before jumping upwards. 2 of them running forwards, kind of at the front of the group, very much do the Harry Potter in the final movie thing, where they just kind of vaporize against a wall of fire as these other farmers and thieves are running in your direction, before the others, still more afraid of their captors than you, keep on running. Winter, what are you doing?
Can I move 25 feet closer to them? Are they
Absolutely.
closer to us?
Yeah.
Like, so within I don't know, 150 feet?
maybe? Yeah.
And I'm gonna cast Fireball.
What damage type?
Ooh.
Radiant.
Ooh,
Radiant.
Yeah.
Fire,
Let's-
you're gonna blow up the ground, right?
let's go Radiant because they seemed like the vampiric-y people like before, right?
Well, you haven't really seen, because you haven't fought the farmers and stuff. So they
Do they
do
look
seem
like the farmer that we saw at the last tower?
roll a quick perception for me.
21.
Yeah, but I mean, he looked like a farmer too till you saw his teeth.
Flip. There was just like a big fire thing that got them then, right?
Yeah. Ordell hit 2 of them square on with fire.
And it didn't go well for them.
No, they died. Going fire or radiant or cold?
I'm just gonna leave it as fire.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and roll your damage first of all.
Roll my damage first?
Yeah.
That's at a 3rd level, by the way.
Okay. Depending on your roll, depends on if I need to roll dex saves, because they don't have a lot of health, those farmers.
Oh! Get fucked. Okay. I'm using the artist D6. I rolled Jakey, I rolled Drew and I rolled mine, and we came up with all 6s.
Yeah.
I rolled yours, Ryan, and it came up with a 1.
Of
So
course
fuck
it
you.
did. Of course it did. Right. So what was your total number?
24.
24. So I don't need to
No,
roll
no,
dex
no,
save.
no,
Ooh,
no,
I
no, not
was
24.
gonna say that was pretty low for a fireball.
30.
30.
31.
You sure?
I promise that's my last answer.
31. I definitely don't need to roll for dex saves because even at halved, they're gone. But here's what happens. Ordell, you hit them square on with your 2 attacks. Nothing missed. They have been carrying crates and crates of these fireweeds where possibly bits of those black things may have fallen off on the side and left a trail. As fire that doesn't directly hit a person but touches the ground itself creates a fireball hitting a good lot of them, the vast majority, but the rest of them that are still in this line of fire, suddenly an explosion begins trailing itself outwards as fire erupts going towards that great crate stack that you saw that is 20 feet high and 10 feet wide, full of this fireweed. What can only be described as a small mountain of C4 flies offwards as even where you're all at, which we mentioned was 500 feet away from this stack. I need all of you to make strength saves to see that you're not blown off of this bridge.
I just so everyone knows, I'm playing Angel of the Morning full blast right now because that is exactly what I'm picturing in my head. Oh wow! All right. Oh wait, what kind of save?
Strength save.
Cool.
You guys like fire, right?
Well, I got a
You like
5,
jazz?
and I have +4, so I'm no math magician. But that's a 1 on you, boy.
Winter, what's your spell save DC?
A 16.
Okay. What did you get for your strength save?
I'm in the air.
I thought you said you came down to the bridge with them.
I was coming down, but levitate lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay. You still are going to get knocked a little bit then, but you won't just keep falling.
Will I
However,
glide?
Elijah and Belch look upwards to see if there's a solution to this door problem, since the two of you have said, like, yeah, we'll handle those down there. Elijah and Belch go running upwards before the force of the shockwave sends both of them falling into the bridge and knocked off and falling off the side. So Elijah and Belch are falling to the ground about 75 feet down. As XC, Emma, Ashrin, Lucilla, you all hear first one small explosion in the distance. It's very quiet, you know, nothing to worry about. Before you see a trail of fire and a huge... You see it before you eventually feel the shockwave that kind of stumbles you for but a moment as you look over. A huge explosion, fire mounting up to the sky, nearly as tall as the tower itself where this explosion happens. And you also see a continuation of that fiery trail going down the road in your direction towards where you're fighting all of these people as fire begins blowing up small patches of black powder that comes out of these fireweeds and heads off in your direction. Ashrin and Emma, you already said you ran over towards the barn. That's good. You're not directly on the road. XC, Lucilla, you're there, as are the 22 of the other farmers. Gonna need some dex saves from you and Lucilla, XC. You can do it at advantage because you see this one coming from so far away. 16 was the DC, right?
The barn is covered.
Barn is covered. It's a good idea. It was
Man,
a bad
Angel of the
idea
Morning is so
until
perfect for
Winter
all of
made
this
it a good
explosion.
idea.
I turned it on too.
I didn't suggest fire at all. 21.
21. Perfect. Lucilla got a nat 20. So the two of you see this coming. And in that time, XC, you can run towards the barn or you can run out into the field. Where are you headed?
Isn't the other ghost still in front of me between me and the barn?
Yes, but it's in the ethereal realm currently.
It is, but I still don't know if I can walk through it or not.
True. You could try and go around it.
No, it takes too much time away from the barn.
Okay, away from the barn out into the field. Lucilla sees before she angrily looks up towards where the ghost is, assuming it's still there, wanting to finish the fight, but knowing that she will die if she stays here, jumps off of the road and towards the barn. XC, you see fire completely engulf all of the farmers on the road here. It is a horrible scene, essentially a road full of napalm, as all of them are blown off in chunks and pieces and run with fire surrounding their clothes. This ghostly figure still stands as it's in the ethereal realm. It doesn't get affected by this fire. Ashrin and Emma, you feel the heat coming off of this road. However, XC, because you do choose to go into the field, this thing did not attack Lucilla. You did notice that when she ran away from it, and you. So it seems to not be able to hit you when it's in the ethereal realm, which is good. However, you ran into the fire fields where there are a bunch more of these plants. I'm going to need another dex save from you.
Considering I'm running, I'm going to classify that as I'm doing my action for the turn. Can I also do a second wind? Is it my bonus action?
This is more of a reaction than it is a turn thing.
Okay. I will roll a dex save. Is this one still at advantage or just normal?
This is normal.
Hey, big rolls. 18 plus 3 is 21.
21. No problem. You see a small patch between all these flowers here, enough for you to just line yourself right in between one of the divots on the farming parts that have been hoed. As you lay down, you feel dirt splash all over. You're entirely almost buried in the dirt here. However, you take no damage from the fire as you quickly dodge out of the way. Lucky for all of you. As the fire slowly settles, Winter, you hold your hand outwards before he kind of realizes what you just did and what happened. As you look down at your palm like, oh. Before
I feel like I leveled up.
Belch and Elijah turn, Belch immediately looks up and gives you a huge thumbs up.
Are they falling at the moment?
Yeah, they're currently falling down. No,
Everyone's falling.
Ordell. Oh, actually, yeah, Ordell, you missed too, but you had already ran 50 feet, so you're only falling 25 feet, and you have the slow fall. So you're not going to take any damage as you quickly create the fire beneath you.
Oh, the explosion didn't do anything? Oh, okay,
no,
cool.
because you were on the bridge. That's away enough from the powder.
Dope.
Can I yell at Elijah?
Yeah.
Can you grab Belch?
Can you grab Belch? As Elijah says, what? As both of them into the ground.
Oh.
Elijah has already taken some damage, but he takes... Oh, the first two D10 rolls were 10s. And the third one was...
Oh no.
Elijah says, what? Before he kind of bounces on the ground and seems to lay there. Not doing too good. You also see Belch completely fall headfirst into the ground. His leg sticks up outwards. His arm is not where it's supposed to be. You can see teeth fly out from inside of his little mouth as he falls to the ground. Belch is done for. This is... What a good friend he was. You'll remember him. He helped you. He saved you from the gargoyle threat, and you're sorry about the time you blew him up. This time, even so, you feel that it's his... Maybe it was his time. There's nothing else that you could have done, though. I mean, it had to be... As Belch wakes up and says, I've never died from falling! As that seems like a solid place to stop. Elijah is unconscious and dying on the ground. Belch wakes up. Winter, you're floating in the air. Ordell, you are on the ground near the bridge as it is slowly collapsing on itself. Emma and Ashrin near the barn. XC lying underneath the dirt in a field of fire. Lucilla having just ducked out from the fire. And XC, you turn over and still see the ghost sitting there incorporeal. But that's where we'll stop it for tonight. There's
I would
still
like
a lot to
throw
go.
it out there. I would like to throw it out there that there was no TPK tonight and nobody died tonight.
I was gonna
Belch
say
died
I was
twice.
that's fair.
Well, Belch.
Belch dies all the time.
Yeah, he's
Poor
allowed to do that.
Belch.
But
Poor
also,
Belch.
when you described the bridge, I think I was still 120 feet up, so I could take some fall damage. I'm gonna tell you right now, any fall damage will knock me the fuck out, even if I reduce it by 40.
Well, you ran down 50 feet, so you were 70 feet up. Remember, because you were going to shoot them?
I thought they were 175 feet away though, so I would have been 120 feet exactly.
That's true. That's true. You're 120 feet away from them, but 70 feet up from the bridge would be where you're at.
Oh, okay.
So let's roll. Let's roll the damage and
let's
see.
Let's see. Oh man.
Oh, actually, that was a D8 I was rolling. Let's get the D10 in there. 14, 16, 23, 27. You're good. That's under 40.
Hey, let's go.
I mean, the best I can do is give you a speech about death and give you some temporary hit points. This wizard ain't got no heals.
Oh, well done. Nobody died, as you said, Drew.
Wow.
Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Belch. God rest his soul. Man, what a warrior. But let's go ahead and do
Hey, a
that
heck
giveaway.
of a lot of farmers died.
Yeah, a lot
Also,
of farmers died.
While you're looking at giveaway things in your thing, the drawings this episode are up already. Whoa, I put them in while things are happening. See to the story so far on the Discord.
And Chav Hunter.
I'm pretty sure this is like the 10th time Chav has won.
Right.
So
Chav's a
come
winner.
to our shows and watch our shows.
Congratulations, Chav. Make sure you send the email and let's get you 3 Glyphic Blind bags. Buy yours today at levelupdice.com. I think that's the website, correct? No other stuff, levelupdice.com?
.net.
.net. Even better.
Net.
Join the worldwide net, buy your Level Up Dice tonight, and we'll see you next week for the exciting continuation of the Red Wagon Inn. Bye.
Goodbye.